Razorback fans have arrived in style. Hog hats, suey calls all over town throughout the week. They are more excited about this team and this bowl game than they have been in some 10 years. And the Razorbacks set to take the field. And a great day of college football getting underway here in Orlando, Florida, as we welcome you to the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl, the Big Ten taking on the SEC as the Arkansas Razorbacks battle the Michigan Wolverines, two storied programs. Hi and welcome everyone, and Happy New Year. I'm Terry Gannon. What Houston Nutt has been able to accomplish in his first year as the head coach of Arkansas is nothing short of remarkable. They were picked to finish last in the SEC West. They won a share of that title, were within a couple of plays of competing for a national championship. Here they are on New Year's Day. For Michigan and Lloyd Carr, a turnaround of their own. They started the season 0-2. All they have done after all the critics and doubters were around there is go 7 of their last 8. Their only loss coming to Ohio State. And Tim Brandt, by all accounts, when you look at this game, it should be a heck of a matchup.
I think it's going to be fun. Inside this stadium, you would think this is the national championship game. I can tell you this, Arkansas has scored a lot of points this year, and the reason the Hogs have is because of Clint Sterner, their quarterback. This guy is a strong, tough, hard-nosed quarterback that really gets it done. 26 touchdowns this year. He is the emotional leader of the Hogs. But the big play guy, the go-to guy, the difference maker, that's Anthony Lucas. He is a great wide receiver. He averages 23 yards a catch. The philosophy is, if everybody's covered, throw it to Lucas and he'll go get it. But make no mistake about this, the Hogs are 9-2 because of their defense. It is a speed attacking defense. It stops the run, and that could cause a problem for Michigan. Take a look at these numbers. How Michigan has been inconsistent with its running game this year. Against Wisconsin, they got it going. Against Ohio State, they never got it going. And then in the final game of the year against Hawaii, they got it going again. But the big guy is 6'4", Ty Streets, the All-American wide receiver, and that's the biggest advantage Michigan has today. He's 6'4", going against 5'10" cornerbacks. This is a mismatch in favor of the Wolverines.
Well, there is one person who should be here but isn't. The brother of Houston Nutt, Danny Nutt, the running backs coach at Arkansas, underwent brain surgery some 2 days ago. We are very happy to report that he is recovering, and they expect the full recovery. He's back in Little Rock, resting and watching the game. For more on him, let's go down to the field and check in right now with Dean Blevins. Dean?
Well, Terry, I visited with Houston Nutt a moment ago, and he's one of the more emotional coaches you would ever want to meet. So it's been really an emotional roller coaster with this thing with his brother. He said, I want you to tell my brother Danny in that hospital room that we're going to try to win this game for him today. He said that he believes the surgery was successful. The family feels good about it. He says he keeps looking around for it. This is the first time in 6 years as a head coach that his brother Danny has not been here with him. As for Michigan, Michigan says, don't worry about us. We will not overlook Arkansas. They said there is a huge difference between a 4-loss season and a 10-win year, and that is what is on the line here today, Terry.
Dean, thanks. You're right. And the Michigan players have talked about that all week. They went 4 straight years where they had 4 losses, and they want to be a 10-win team, not a 4-loss team. And that's been a point of contention for Lloyd Carr as well. In his 4th year, 38-11, as Lloyd Carr, of course, won a co-national championship a year ago. And a gorgeous day here in Orlando today. Temperatures in the 70s.
Terry, this is what we're talking about. Pretty good matchup. If you look at what the comparisons are, I mean, you look at the rush yards are even, the pass yards, Arkansas has a little bit of advantage there, and the points allowed. Of course, both defenses have been fairly successful this year. This is a great matchup on paper, and we talked about coming into this game, all the fans saying, hey, it's big Michigan against fast Arkansas, and what a difference that has been. Well, to be honest, the Big Ten has struggled against SEC teams in this bowl, but it should be a pretty good matchup today and fun to watch.
Houston Nutt has had fun all week long. His practices have been open, and he's been enjoying the media. There's a look at the temperature and the conditions here. Almost 70 degrees. They expect the temperature to be in the mid-70s. This is the best day that we have had throughout the week here in Orlando.
Watching the teams on the field, though, we had some rain earlier in the week, and as you mentioned, the field is a little bit slippery right now. We saw some players slipping down as they were warming up. Hey, here's another advantage Michigan has when you think about the mentality of this team. They are the co-national champions from a year ago, and mentally that carries through into a bowl game.
Well, it certainly did the second half of the season after they started 0-2 and then almost ran the table. They only lost to Ohio State. And, of course, the turnaround by Arkansas after 4-7, 4-7 the last couple of years. Incredible. Todd Lederette will get us underway. Arkansas won the toss and deferred to the second half. So Anthony Thomas back deep, number 32, standing inside his own 5-yard line.
Pretty good call by the Arkansas coaches. Winning the toss, want to get their defense on the field because, as we said, that has been the tempo setter. That has been the game setter throughout the year for the Hogs.
Thomas, the sophomore out of Winfield, Louisiana. The A-Train, they call him. And we are underway. Lederette's kick drives Thomas all the way back 7 yards deep. He's not going to bring it out to one knee, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. So we take a look at the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl starting lineups, and the offensive line for Michigan, one of the nation's best. 3 All-Big Ten performers. John Jansen starting in a record 50th straight game for Michigan. The wide receivers are big. You know about Ty Streets, the big play man. They'll throw a lot to Jeremy Tooman as well, the tight end over the middle. And then in the backfield, Aaron Shea leads the way for Clarence Williams, who gets the start, but we'll see a lot of Thomas in the backfield too.
They'll also throw to Shea out of the backfield, the big fullback who normally is a blocker. They'll slip him out and try to get him the ball.
First play of what should be a great one here in Orlando. Clarence Williams gets the call on first down over the left side out to about the 23-yard line before Jamel Harris, the inside linebacker, makes the hit. And the defense, you look at the front for Arkansas, they are deep, they are athletic. 3 seniors led by Melvin Bradley, an all-SEC defensive tackle. Harry Wilson, 27 years old, a former rodeo star, and Jamel Harris, very quick. And Arkansas goes with 5 defensive backs. The matchup today, David Barrett on Ty Streets. Second down for the Wolverines, and Williams again with a call to carry ahead for about 3. It'll bring up 3rd and a long 2, maybe 3.
When Michigan comes to the line of scrimmage offensively, I want you to look at the other side now and look at the white shirts. Defensively, Arkansas will take 10 of their 11 guys and put them like within 4 or 3.5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Everybody's uptight. Everybody is confident that they can't get beaten, even if they're up near the line of scrimmage.
We mentioned the Razorback fans here, but the Wolverine fans here in mass, as they always are, for a bowl game. 3rd and 2. Williams looking for room, not going to find any. Stacked up behind the line of scrimmage, and they have lost one. Jeremy Flowers was in there first. He got help from Harry Wilson.
Again, they jam all the gaps. You look at how close everybody is to the line of scrimmage. You've got the one safety back here. That's it. Then everybody comes, fills a gap. They've got containment on the outside, flood control, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 white jerseys. Folks, they fly around to the football, and they tackle in bunches.
Hayden Epstein, the punter today. Jason Vincent was the punter for much of the year. Michigan has had their struggles on special teams. Rossi Moriali back at his own 31. No room, but out to about the 35. So a punt of 41 yards and a return by Moriali of 3 yards. As we take a look at the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl starting lineups for Arkansas, the offensive line, another veteran line. All 5 have started every game this year. Brandon Burlsworth, the first All-American in 10 years at Arkansas. And this is a wide receiver corps that has averaged over 15 yards a catch. Anthony Lucas has set records at Arkansas, over 1,000 yards for him this year. And Madre Hill, the running back, out 2 years with 2 separate knee injuries. He can still burn it.
Arkansas wants to run first too, but don't be surprised if they stretch the defense right away and try to throw deep just to get their attention.
Michael Williams in motion on first down. Clint Sterner directs the offense, but overthrows Williams.
Yeah, see,
well covered.
That's an attention getter. That's just to get the defense's attention and spread them out a little bit and make them soft.
And the defense for Michigan, always a good one. Up front, Fizel, Renas, and Williams, the 3-4. They are very big. They're athletic and speed with the linebackers. Dahani Jones, a leader there. Sam Sword has led the Wolverines in tackles for 3 straight years. Tommy Hendricks, the big hitter in the secondary. But this is a secondary, Tim, that Clint Sterner and Arkansas think that they can really take advantage of today. The option, here comes Madre Hill. Skips by one across the 35 to the 36. Tommy Hendricks tripped him up first in the backfield.
Terry, when people talk about Michigan being big and strong and slow, don't believe it. They may be big, but this is a very fast Michigan team. They're underrated in speed. Now watch this. They option the defensive end. They think they're going to get outside. But then again, look at the pursuit. Now we're bringing linebackers. We're bringing Reynes. We're bringing Hendricks. They get to the ball quickly. They get there efficiently. They do have excellent speed.
Nathan Norman, the fullback, ahead of Madre Hill on 3rd and a long 9. Emmanuel Smith in motion. Now sets. Here come the Wolverines. Sterner gets it away, but through the hands of the intended receiver and incomplete. Anthony Lucas the target, but again, good coverage in the secondary by Michigan.
Two things, Terry. One, every time he made his cut in warm-ups, he was slipping down. So watch his feet pitter-pat before he makes his cut. Boom, 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 and then he comes back. He's trying to get sure footing. By doing that, he wasted a little bit of time. By the time he got to the ball, it was too late.
Chris Aiken gets his punt away. The first one of the day. There's Marcus Knight from his own 21. Swarmed under. Ahead of the 25, maybe to the 26. So a punt of 43 yards, 4-yard return. We are underway in Orlando, the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. Back in Orlando, underway with the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. No score, Arkansas and Michigan. This has not been a traditional Michigan offense this season.
Oh, take a look at this. I mean, they have thrown and gotten more yardage than they have rushing. First time since the 1960s. Michigan has thrown an incredible 373 passes this year. That's a school record. And 18 different receivers have made catches.
Anthony Thomas, the lone setback. Play action for Brady out to his tight end. Mark Campbell with the catch, and he's got a Michigan first down at the 38-yard line. A gain of 11 will move the chains.
Came out to start the game, and they had 3 straight runs and didn't get the first down. 3 and out. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, they say. So they come back this time, and on first down, they look for the play action. They look for the tight end. They slip him out into the flat. They get him isolated, get him some space, and they pick up good yardage and move the chains. Nicely done.
They'll bring in the fullback, Aaron Shea, to lead Thomas, who's trying to get outside. Perry Wilson wraps him up, but Thomas powers his way ahead to about the 46-yard line. And a look at some of the strength of 6'2", 221-pound Anthony Thomas.
Yeah, and Anthony Thomas is strength. I mean, they call him the A-Train. 761 yards this year, 12 touchdowns. You look at these numbers; they're impressive. He was teaming obviously with Williams, and when you put those two together, it's a pretty good force. Unfortunately, they really haven't gotten in the groove, haven't gotten in sync, never really got that thing going. We showed you they did against Hawaii, and certainly that's what they want to get replicated here today.
Thomas, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year a year ago, going up top to Streets, covered by Green and incomplete. Orlando Green with the leap at the last moment, but number 21 is a guy who's going to get tested today. And
both sides will get tested. Terry, that's exactly what we were talking about in the pregame. Streets is 6'4", and Green is 5'9½". On the other side, Barrett is 5'10". If there's a mismatch, an advantage to Michigan, that's it. Well, you just saw it, and Green came up big that time, climbing the tree and making the stop. But look at this. That's what they want to take advantage of, and they tried to do it right there.
Here comes Anthony Thomas, gets away from Melvin Bradley, but then stopping the ball's on the ground. Arkansas believes they have it, but the official's going to blow it dead.
Of course, it was ruled down. This is a team that has taken advantage of turnovers all year, plus 11 in that category. They force turnovers. They make things happen. They get the ball back for the offense, and there's the main reason right there. Keith Burns. He and Bobby Allen have this defense. Folks, they believe. They call it Code Red, and they play hard.
Keith Burns will wear you out just talking to him for about 10 minutes.
He's one of the finest defensive coaches in the country. Should be a head coach.
Came over from University of Southern California a year ago. Wasi Moriali looks at this one taking a Michigan roll all the way down to the 12-yard line. So a punt of 43 yards for Hayden Epstein. And the Razorbacks backed up for their second drive of the ball game. The CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by CompUSA, the computer superstore. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
and Ford Explorer. Explorer, built Ford tough.
Great day of bowl games underway here on ABC. Boy, the bowls have been terrific so far.
Yeah, they really have. Last night it was fun watching that Virginia game, and what a great win for Georgia.
Don't move. Full day ahead. The gift to Madre Hill. Right south side. First good game of the ball game for Hill and the Razorbacks. Out to the 23-yard line. Hill, a guy who you have to feel for. Out for 2 years with 2 separate knee injuries.
Madre Hill is a medical marvel. He'll be back next year after applying for the medical research, but here's a guy that has had both knees operated on, the ACLs, and in the old days, you couldn't come back from that. The only guy that I know that have had a similar situation is Terry Allen of the Washington Redskins. But Hill has come back. He's run for 670 yards. He is a medical marvel.
Set an Arkansas record a couple of years ago before the knee injuries with almost 1,400 yards. Here he goes again, bursting through. Straight up the middle, out to the 27. Hill, a senior out of Melbourne, Arkansas. Ian Gold, the speedster linebacker, made the stop.
Take a look at Sam Sword. Here's number 93. This guy has been your leading tackler 3 straight years. You see how balanced he stays. See how he plays that inside out. He averages more than 9 tackles a game. First Wolverine since Eric Anderson to lead the team in tackles 3 straight years.
38th straight start for Sam Sword. Quick out. Emmanuel Smith. Nice catch behind him, but not much room at all to run. To the 32-yard line. Got to get out to the 34 for a first down. James Hall in on the stop in the coverage along with Whitley. Smith, a guy who has caught 25 passes on the year, but Tim, 13 of those have come in the last 3 games, so he's getting even more action for Houston Nutt.
And Michael Williams had 44 catches, and all that does is help take some of the pressure off Anthony Lucas. It pulls away some of the coverage and frees him up.
Sterner directing traffic on 3rd and a long 2. And a 3-receiver set. Hill the lone setback. Quick drop, quick out. Smith can't get there. And they'll have to punt it away once again to Michigan.
We talked at the top about Arkansas scoring a lot of points. Certainly Michigan has had a lot of points this year as well. But these 2 defenses will really make the train run. They're the engine that drives this thing.
Sterner so far overthrowing his receivers, too. You see that a lot with all the emotion.
That's adrenaline flow. You're right.
Diallo Johnson back at his own 30. Johnson, a nice move, still up. Scrambles out to about the 37-yard line. And a host of tacklers bring him down. A 40-yard punt, 7-yard return for Johnson. And the Wolverines take over. No score midway through the first here in Orlando. Let's go down to the field. Check in with Dean Blevins.
Guys, you mentioned Keith Burns a little bit earlier. He's another one of those high-octane Hawk coaches. He was one of the 5 finalists for the Frank Broyles Assistant Coach of the Year nationally. Told me earlier today that that was really a nice honor. The numbers, though, are significant. The turnover ratio is terrific this year for Arkansas. +11. Last year, -8. Other numbers, the Hawks this year led SEC in lost yardage plays and inherited a secondary that was one of the worst in the SEC. Now they're number 2. This guy, Tim, as you mentioned, he will be a head coach within the next 3 years.
Clarence Williams gets the call on first down. He's got a big hole. Finally brought down inside Arkansas territory at the 45-yard line. A big gain for Williams, the senior out of Detroit. He goes for 18.
Yeah, see, and that's not something Keith Burns likes right there. That's something he'll adjust to in a hurry. He makes his calls, and he'll do it accordingly. He's just feeling things out. But you know what? To put an exclamation point on what Dean was talking about, remember Bob Toledo was an assistant coach, and you could watch him and say, that guy's going to be a great head coach. And he has been at UCLA. You look at this guy and you say, he's going to be a great head coach, either at this league or the next league, playing on Sundays. But he's that kind of teacher, that kind of coach.
First down for the Wolverines. Going to tie streets, wide open inside the 30. One-on-one with Orlando Green. No contest that time.
And as long as they cover one-on-one, it is going to be an advantage for Michigan. We can't overemphasize that. Watch this. As soon as he turns his back, Streets, who's a tremendous receiver, reads that, makes his cut, picks up 18. It's going to be very difficult to man up on him. And Arkansas likes to blitz. They like man coverage. So we'll have to watch that all afternoon.
And the Razorbacks fortunate Streets went to the turf. There was no safety to come over and help. He may have been gone. There goes the A train. Anthony Thomas straight ahead. down to the 20-yard line, and the Wolverines moving the ball right now. Tomorrow, live beginning at noon Eastern here on ABC Sports, the NFL Wild Card doubleheader with the Bills taking on the Dolphins first. Then at 4 p.m. Eastern, the Arizona Cardinals making their playoff debut. Out in Arizona, at least, is Troy Aikman and the Dallas Cowboys. Their opponents are on ABC. Tripped up is Anthony Thomas before getting back to the line of scrimmage. Jeremy Flowers, and really the first time that we've seen a defensive back or linebacker in the backfield.
And it's the first time they've really tried to do that. They overloaded the gap. They came hard with Flowers, who they call their bandit linebacker, and they brought him on the blitz. Now watch how they cheat him up. He's at the top of your screen. They bring him outside. Nobody picks him up, and he's too quick. The pulling guard, who was supposed to pick him up, could not get there in time. This is a speed defense. They made linebackers, defensive linemen, defensive backs were made the linebackers.
And they love a situation like this. 3rd and 5, and it looked like the tight end from Michigan moved along the right side.
And the flags on the field. Good ball.
John Smith, the referee today, and his crew working.
Gets down. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
You know, Michigan used officials at its practices the entire time down here because they want to try to avoid penalties. It's something that has really, really hurt them. They've had a lot of penalties this year, and Lloyd Carr was trying to correct that. Here's your matchup down at the bottom of the screen with Streets.
They've been very good on 3rd down. Marcus Knight dropped the football, and he had 6. Kenoy Kennedy was a step behind him. He had the end zone if he just holds on.
It was Streets who got all the attention, and then what they did was bring Knight inside and tried to get him under the safety. Kennedy, 29. They did have him beaten. That ball's got to be caught. It was perfectly thrown. Should not have been dropped.
Jay Feely on for a try from 43 yards.
43-yard
Got plenty of leg and inside the left upright. So Feely gets the Wolverines on the board with 3, but Arkansas perhaps feeling fortunate. They should have had 6, and Brady knew it. Three 3-0 Michigan on top here in the first quarter. Terry Gannon, Tim Brandt, Dean Blevins, and about 20,000 Arkansas fans. Not the same from Michigan, too. They brought a lot of them down here to Orlando. Back deep, Emmanuel Smith on the right side of your screen. Hubert Laudermill, number 39, on the left side of your screen. And there's Hayden Epstein. We'll kick off once again. Smith, 5 yards deep. And they'll bring it out to the 20. Well, Monday night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on ABC, the home of the Bowl Championship Series. It's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Number 1 versus number 2. The Vols with T. Martin against maybe the best defense in the country for the national championship. And, by the way, first time ever enhanced TV program. You can go right on your computer and go in there and get live stats, whatever stat you want, whatever bio you want. You can play games and pick which play is going to happen next. All of that while we're going. You don't have to wait for us to give you whatever kind of graphic you want. First time ever Monday night. Sterner throws it away under pressure and then takes a beating.
It's incomplete.
Jake Freisinger and Rob Arenas all over him.
You know, last year Sterner threw 12 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions. He was sacked 42 times. Well, this year 26 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. You can see they cut that sack way down, more than half. He's only 1 for 5 here today, and I'm going to tell you this, folks, Michigan is getting after him. You saw it affected him there. They came with the pressure. He was smart enough and experienced enough to not take the sack, throw it away. But that's been the biggest improvement in this Arkansas offense. But Michigan is bringing some heat.
Grant Garrett, by the way, the center, is starting today. He's had a back problem all week long. Has not practiced much at all.
Chris Chakuma.
Chris Chakuma, his first carry out to about the 25. Dean, what about the field? You've seen so many players slipping early on here today.
Well, Terry, that type of play, north and south, it's not a problem, but it's a perfect weather day, but it is slippery. Houston Nutt before the game said, hey, man, did they water this thing? He's concerned about it. Michigan is as well. I generally wear tennis shoes that can check it out, but the bowl season's brought some better shoes, so I can't tell you, but they are slipping, it looks like to me.
Yeah, they really are. We noticed that in warm-ups. Receivers making their cuts and defensive backs making their breaks.
Be careful with those wingtips, Dean. Moriali, the intended receiver, had a step on Whitley, the cornerback, but again, Sterner not able to deliver. And it brings up another 4th down for the Razorbacks.
Well, he did have some space. Michigan was in his zone. He found the open area in that zone, and Sterner just couldn't hit him. Sterner right now is struggling. He is not throwing the ball very well. It could be adrenaline, whatever it is. He's got to start settling down and getting the ball to the receivers.
Diallo Johnson awaits. Chris Akins, punt under pressure. They almost got it. Did not get a piece of him, though. Johnson brings it back across midfield to the 49. Michigan almost had a piece of that.
You know, we told you this is a speed defense that they move linebackers to defensive line. I want to show you this. This is called Bear Jet Black Exchange. Here's your Bear front. 3 down linemen. Head up on the center and the tackles. The linebackers cheat to the backside where there is no tight end. They'll overload. Now watch the linebackers come up into the gap. They're going to go right through that gap. So they're more defensive guys than offensive guys. They can't stop them. They're not enough blockers. And it's been very effective for Arkansas this year. We told you they're plus 11 in the turnover ratio. Folks, this defense makes things happen. And it's designed by that man, Keith Burns.
And now you've got a new quarterback in for Michigan, Drew Henson. The redshirt, actually the freshman who has gotten all the publicity as Williams takes it over on the right side and gets ahead for about 3. But Henson, the 3rd round draft pick of the Yankees, in a Sports Illustrated story on him earlier in the year. A lot of fanfare surrounding him. Has played in 7 games, but now we see him here in the bowl game.
You know, he came in with the same kind of hype that Joe Montana, John Elway, Dan Marino, all those guys were getting.
During the run, holding, offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul remains 1st down.
Let's get a report from Dean right now in that situation. Dean?
Guys, I talked to Stan Parrish before the game about the potential of Henson, and he says he's not only a great quarterback, they believe he has the potential to be the greatest quarterback ever at Michigan and think he'll have a chance to make great strides in the spring. Timmy, this guy's got a lot of talent.
There's no question about it, but you hate the burden of potential. You know that? Now, you bring a young kid into this situation, Dino, and this is what happens. Everybody gets a little jumpy. The cadence is different, and you got 2 penalties in a row.
Got a fullback, Evan Coleman, a freshman who came in on that play, and he was the man who jumped.
Dead ball, 4-star offense. 5 yards remains 1st down.
You know, anytime you bring a kid in like this, who coming out of high school, who's got articles in Sports Illustrated and everything else, you know, Mike DeBoer's making a call here, and he's saying, I'm taking the stud out here. I'm gonna bring him in and see what he can do in the Citrus Bowl. But right now, it's caused some problems with the offensive line and the cadence and the penalties.
So it's 1st and 27 now for Drew Henson. Not the spot you want to come into. Straight drop, setting up the screen. There's the fullback shave pounded to the turf at the 30 by Zach Painter, the rover, who has had an outstanding year. He was a cornerback. He was moved to that strong safety spot, and he's flourished.
Boy, here's Flowers again making the big play, and then there's Painter on the outside. Now watch him. Gets around the block, against speed, outruns the pulling guard, and gets to the outside. He's the contained man, flood control, forces it back in and makes the stop. You know, he's 2nd leading tackler on this team, all conference. His dad played for the Jets. He was raised in football, and he's a smart player.
And he was really one of the objects of all the frustration and a lot of criticism last year. When Houston Nutt came in, he couldn't believe how they felt about him. He's had a terrific year this season. There goes Ty Streets with a catch over the middle. Not enough for the 1st down. To the 45-yard line of Arkansas before David Barrett got it.
You know, it is incredible to me that that play goes 24 yards and they still don't even come close to the 1st down. Why? Because of penalties. But look at this. Here's your 7-step drop, and watch the young guy step up and fire it. But he looks like he's starting to aim it a little bit. He's not letting the athletic ability take over. But the ball was perfectly thrown, and the big guy was working on the 5'10" Barrett.
3rd and 6. Diallo Johnson wants to throw it. Throwing it back to Henson. And perhaps that's what Lloyd Carr had in mind when he brought in Drew Henson. There is a flag on the play.
Well, if that's the reason he brought him in, then they went through a lot to get that play off. Because this is the 3rd flag in 6 snaps, and they had a 24-yard completion, and it's still 3rd down and a taxi ride for a 1st.
And now you've used up the trickery that you had planned.
There's a quality man right there.
We have no penalty. The pass never falls. A line of scrimmage. By rule, incomplete pass. 4th down.
As soon as they set this up, you knew it was either a flanker screen or a throwback. Now, they didn't disguise it very well right here because, see, he doesn't even look like he's going to run with it. He pulls it back, throws, and now all of a sudden, look at 21 Green trying to readjust, gets around the blocker. It still would have been close whether he got the first or not had he made the catch.
Orlando Green read it. He was the one man who was right there behind that line that was set up, the wedge. And Epstein's hunt goes into the end zone. 45 yards. He'd like some of those back, though. They'll bring it out to the 20. Well, we take you back while we have a moment to the 97 Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. Peyton Manning, many thought it would be his last game. That was a couple of years ago. What a day he had. 408 yards, including that touchdown pass, 3 in total. Then he ran for a touchdown as well. A huge game for Peyton Manning. Of course, he came back to try to win a national championship, which he was not able to do, but one of the great performances in this bowl's history.
Well, and this bowl certainly has had a lot of great games. I mean, keep in mind, this was originally called the Tangerine Bowl, now the Citrus Bowl, and they've had some terrific matchups here.
Chikuma ahead for about 5. You got to like a bowl, though, that covers it all now. It's not just the Tangerine. It covers everything. It covers orange, covers lemon, it covers, what, mango?
Yeah.
Covers kiwi, whatever you want. It's the Citrus. The all-encompassing bowl. 2nd and 5. Chikuma ahead to the 30, close to a first down, but I think he's a little bit shy before Eric Wilson brought him down. Dean, what do you have on the field?
Well, I think that what you saw there with Henson was him going in for a trick play. Tom Brady expected to go back in. No injury to him, by the way. Aaron Shea, 36, a fullback, win, knocked out. He'll be back in the game.
All right, Dean, appreciate that. Dean, the hardest working man in show business. He's the James Brown of sports television this week.
I had to look at you. I thought I was sitting next to Miss Florida Citrus again. Like it's a banquet. I learned about all kinds of ball glow and tangerines and tangelos.
He was at the Peach Bowl last night. Flags on the play. Spooner keeps it for the first down, but we'll have to wait and see. Jim Herman not happy about that on the sideline, the defensive coordinator. Well, aerial coverage of the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl.
Defense. 5 yards from the previous spot.
Is brought to you by the Bud 1 airship. There it is, high above Orlando, Florida. Gorgeous day. Good look at the Citrus Bowl. Quick drop. Sterner wants to throw and throws it away. Anthony Lucas was hooked up one-on-one with Andre Weather.
Still not comfortable, though, Terry. He's taken the short drop to get away from the pressure. When a quarterback takes those 3-step drops, it's hard for any defense to get to him. But even there, he doesn't look comfortable, and he's not throwing the ball well. Like a pitcher, when he's not breaking his back and he's coming in high with the pitch, that's what's happening to Sterner right now. He's got to step in to his throw. He's got to be more relaxed and stop aiming it and just let his athletic ability take over. But look at this, 1 for 7, 4 yards.
There's a guy who set the season records for Arkansas in yardage and touchdowns this year. There goes Michael Williams. Knocked out of bounds.
And hit late, and the flag flies. That's going to be a personal foul against Tahani Jones, who is a good, clean player. I think just lost his position on the field.
Michael Williams, the receiver. And there's the personal foul that you have against Michigan.
Anthony Lucas was getting all the attention. So a good read by Sterner goes to the backside to Williams. Once he gets around the corner now, he's out of bounds there. See, here comes Dahani, and Dahani takes him out of bounds, and they throw the flag immediately. No question about it. I think Dahani, again, being emotional and maybe lost his position on the field. Not a real smart play from a brilliant player. I mean, there is a guy that's going to be a doctor. He's a medical student. He's like a Renaissance man, and you don't see him make mistakes like that very often, and Lloyd Carr's not happy.
Speaking of emotional, Lloyd's still getting a piece on the sidelines of the official's ear. It's a fine line. I think it was a good call as well. And when you're charging like that along the sideline, it's tough to pull up and not make contact.
Well, when he steps out of bounds like that 10 yards before the tackle, that whistle better be blown.
First down at the 41. Chikuma over the left side. Chris Chikuma, the leading rusher this year for Arkansas with 870 yards. He and Mondre Hill, both potent runners in the backfield.
Terry, Houston Nutt's offense is not as complex as Case Stevenson's was last year, and that really has helped Sterner. But what really helped the turnaround was the year's experience, a better offensive line, and the running game got better. Bingo. Now you've got an explosion of experience and talent, and this guy's simplifying things. He's a positive thinker. They started believing in his system, and even though it was more simple and simplified, they execute, and they've been successful.
Marvin Caston, the fullback, now ahead of Chikuma. As Smith goes in motion, they'll give it to Chris Chikuma. Fights his way to the 37. Ahead for 2. Joaquin Fizel made the stop. Did you had a chance to talk to Houston Nutt before the ball game?
Yeah, you know, following up on what Timmy said, you know, I think this positive sort of evangelical style of his, the players bought into. Interestingly, he told me that initially the players thought perhaps it was a fake, that, you know, the rah-rah stuff wasn't for real. But sooner or later, when you get to know Houston Nutt, that is his real persona, and it's worked.
Dean, he spoke at a church the other day here in Orlando, had 5,000 people on their feet at the end with a standing ovation.
Wow.
3rd and 6, quick outing. Down goes Williams. James Whitley just popped him. The sophomore out of Norfolk, Virginia, got there quickly and made sure that Williams couldn't get anywhere near the first down.
Yeah, we tell you that Michigan's defense does have speed. The play action, they get the quick drop, they get him isolated, and look at this. There's the speed of Whitley coming up and making the sure tackle in the open field. If you're going to make a tackle in the open field, you've got to make it high. Don't go for his legs. And on 4th down, Arkansas is gambling. They're in the full down area, and they're going for it.
First major decision of the game. Houston Nutt wants to go on 4th and 4. The option, Sterner keeps it, nowhere to run. James Hall, the rush linebacker, in there before Sterner could even think about the pitch.
Keep in mind, James Hall was an outside linebacker. They moved him to defensive end. His responsibility is the quarterback, and he's not going to take the pitch fake. He stayed with the quarterback, and he made the tackle. Watch this. Now, Sterner's going to read the defensive end. He's going to try to fake the pitch and get him to go. But Hall stays right there, tucks his tail, skies his eyes, make a form tackle, perfectly played, and they stop him on 4th.
This is a set of linebackers that is awfully quick for Michigan, and Hall one of the quickest on that outside. Whether he's a rush end or a rush linebacker, there goes the A train. Anthony Thomas to the 45. And Brady was back in at quarterback for Michigan. So 3-0 Wolverines over Arkansas into the first quarter. We're back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
ABC Sports coverage of the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl.
Second quarter about to start here in Orlando. The CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. And the Wolverines up 3-0 over Arkansas. Michigan with Tom Brady back in at cornerback. Hands it off to Anthony Thomas, who's had a big day already. And they'll move the chains. Thomas ahead for the first down before Kenoy Kennedy, the free safety, can stop it. And Dean Cleven's down on the field with an injury update right now. Dean?
First significant injury goes to Arkansas. Number 41, Melvin Bradley, has gone to the locker room. It's a new injury. He has turf toe, and that's sort of like, Tim, I'm sure you've had it, both of you, it's sort of like pirouetting on a big toe with gout. That can be really painful. DJ Cooper, not to be confused with DB Cooper, by the way, is in for him, number 99.
Yeah, and you say turf toe, and people think, well, how bad could it be? But it is it is awfully bad.
Sometimes worse than a break. I mean, it's like a badly sprained toe. Just can't put pressure on.
Tom Brady with no one open inside the 40 to the 39. Brady, a guy, the junior from San Mateo, California, a record-setting year for him this year. He had 200 completions in 323 attempts, both Michigan records, and he set records in the game against Ohio State too. In a year that Michigan threw the football much more than usual.
Well, I tell you, Brady, he learned to compete early too in life. Had 3 older sisters in 1 bathroom.
Marcus Knight in motion. They're going to give it to Clarence Williams. Nowhere to run. Swarmed under at the 39. May have fallen ahead for 1. Jamel Harris, Harry Wilson, the linebackers in on the stop.
This is really a high-risk, high-reward defense that Arkansas runs. They jam everybody up by the offensive line. I mean, so if there's a running play that's a quick hitter that gets into the secondary, there aren't a whole lot of guys back there to make tackles. And the same with a pass play. If they go up and over to Streets or Knight and they get past that first wave, look out.
Which you could see right here. 3rd and 6. Knight and Streets wide to the top of your screen. Brady under pressure. He goes down for the first time. Shasha Lancaster, number 65, and a redshirt freshman got there. You want the definition of a free spirit? It's number 65. With the bleached blonde hair, he's got code red tattooed on his chest.
Boy, they overload again, and there just aren't enough jerseys. Now here's, look, right here, see 79? You know who that is? That's Backus, and he's looking for somebody to block it. The play's already over.
Morial with a fair catch. Well, the Razorbacks will start at the 17-yard line after stopping Michigan. Look at the scenery around the Citrus Bowl here in Orlando. Arkansas not able to get anything going at all offensively. This is the team that averaged 33 points per game. That's the highest since 1970 for the Razorbacks. Nothing so far.
Lucas has yet to make a catch. They're going to be looking for him soon.
Flushed out of the pocket is Sterner. Throws on the run to Madre Hill. He's got a first down at the 31. So maybe the Arkansas offense starting to get something going.
Well, they're going to start throwing more, and it looks like Sterner now starting to settle down. Once they get that pass play going and they start opening up their passing game, the running game will follow. With Chakuma and Hill, those guys will start running as well. Here, it was the pressure. This was designed to be play action. He looks to the left for Lucas, but then he comes back, and now he's just looking for a safety valve, and that, of course, is Hill, who slipped out of the backfield to help him out.
A gain of 14 before Ian Gold ran him down. So 1st and 10, quick out. Flags on the play. Nathan Norman with the catch out of the backfield. And brought down at the 35, but they may bring this back. Andre Weathers on the coverage and the stop.
Offsides, defense. Line up in the neutral zone. Planted 5 yards. Previous spot remains first down.
So they call it against Michigan, and the penalty woes continue.
Yeah, and there goes Anthony Lucas out of the ball game. He has no catches. This is the guy that averages 23 yards a catch, over 1,000 yards receiving, and he hasn't even touched the ball yet.
6 penalties for Michigan so far. So it's 1st and 5. They're going to give it to Madre Hill. Fights his way on the right side, but stacked up after a gain of 1. Now next, right here on ABC Sports, the Bowl Championship Series begins with the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. Cade McDowell leads the Bruins against the Wisconsin Badgers. Should be a good one for Pasadena. Then live at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Ohio State taking on Dat Nguyen and Texas A&M. There goes Madre Hill over the right side again, a short gain.
Pretty interesting what they did there, Terry. You went to that promo for the Bowls coming up. They thought that Michigan was kind of taken out of this thing too. They broke the huddle and came up with a quick play. They tried to quick snap it and catch Michigan sleeping.
Listening to the promo. It brings up 3rd and 4. Let's go down to Dean Blevins.
Hey, guys, watch Houston Nutt here waggling in his own plays. Timmy, you don't see it too much. You know, Steve Spurrier, he hires guys to do that. Hal Mumby calls plays and he doesn't waggle them in. Houston does it all.
You know, North Turner does that in Washington as well with the Redskins.
It's rare, though.
It's worked better this year for Houston than it has for York. 4 receivers. They're going up top. There goes Lucas with a catch. His first of the afternoon. To the 37-yard line of Michigan.
Boy, what a good read by Sterner, too. Michigan is in what they call a cover 2, where the cornerback's going to take the flats and the safety's going to come over and cover deep. So they've got it high-low, and right in between those two, Sterner puts the ball. Look at that. High-low, you got defenders top and bottom, and he still puts the ball in between them, and he gets his guy. Lucas's first catch today, but they'll start looking to him, I guarantee you.
Gain of 25, and of course the first down, and there goes Montre Hill on first down. Tommy Hendricks, along with Ian Gold, tripped him up. Hendricks, the hardest hitter in that secondary, the junior out of Houston, an all Big Ten performer this season.
There's a look at Clint Sterner, the quarterback. You know, he's not as tall as some of the NFL prospects like Couch and Culpepper and McNabb and McNown and Bishop, but he's talented. He's a strong arm guy, very effective, very efficient, and extremely tough.
Yeah, not impressive in the airport or the lobby, but he is on the field, and this time he goes to Michael Williams. Inside the 5 to the end zone. Williams with a touchdown catch, and the Razorbacks are on the board. You knew they would break out at some point.
And you knew Sterner was going to find the range. He just had to settle down and start just reacting and not thinking. 5 straight completions now for Sterner.
Tom Lederette on for the extra point. Splits the uprights. Michael Williams, who had more catches than Anthony Lucas this year. He had 44 on the season. His 6th touchdown catch of the year. And the Razorbacks have 7 on the board. They lead 7-3. The Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Comp USA, the computer superstore. The new Dodge, it's about change. U.S. Navy, Navy, let the journey begin. And National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series. 7-3 Arkansas, 10:37 left until halftime. Michael Williams with a touchdown catch from Clint Sterner.
Came into the game with 44 catches. He's got 2 catches here today, including that touchdown catch.
Lederette sends Anthony Thomas to his 3. Here comes Thomas. Got a hold. Cut back to the 43. Check that. It's Clarence Williams who brings it back in for Anthony Thomas. So the good return and good field position for the Wolverines. He brought it back 40 yards.
Terry, let's go back to the touchdown. Here's Williams in here. Keep in mind, Sterner now, 5 straight completions. So go ahead and roll it. Lucas came in and made a big catch. They go to a nickel defense to counter Lucas, and look at this. It's a zone defense in the nickel. Nobody picks him up man. He finds the open area, gets to the outside. Williams with the touchdown.
Marcus Ray had the best chance at getting him. That's a maligned secondary, though. Clint Sterner thought he could take advantage of it. It's the first time he's been able to do it all day.
There's the chess game that coaches play. He gets hot. Lucas makes a catch. They go to a nickel. They play some zone. Bingo.
Down goes Brady on first down. Jeremy Flowers in for the sack. 40 sacks on the year for the Razorbacks. And a loss of 9 on this play.
Boy, Flowers is playing one heck of a game. He is causing nightmares for Brady. Look at this. Play action. As soon as he rolls, the first person he sees is number 30 in his face. Now, he was a strong safety last year. There's another one of those adjustments they made to get more speed at linebacker.
102 tackles for loss and 49 sacks. Those are school records for Arkansas. And Anthony Thomas looking for room. Cutting back. Still up. Finally brought down at the 47-yard line. Now Monday at 8 Eastern, you know all about it. The national championship on the line, #1 versus #2, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, Tennessee and Florida State. And also, remember, the first time ever for enhanced TV. You can go on your computer and follow the game. You can get stats, you can get bios at your disposal. When you want them, you can play a game against everyone around the nation who is playing, where you pick the next play, who's going to carry the ball, who's going to catch it. And that all comes up Monday night on the national championship game. Ty Streets with a catch, spins away. Orlando Green chasing him down. He and Zach Painter get him at the 20.
Third down and long. Michigan had a mismatch. They saw it as soon as they broke the huddle. There was no question where they were going. They were going to Streets, working on Green. They brought him on the slant. They hit him early and let the big guy run. Great read by Brady. Quick three-step drop. Get it to him on the slant. Green overran the play, and then he just couldn't stop him. Now, Streets is not only tall, but he's fast. He's got those long, loping strides, deceptively fast. Covers 5 yards in 2 strides. Big play for the Wolverines.
First and 10 at the 20. Terrell in motion. Going to give it back to Clarence Williams. He cuts back. Got a first down. And run out of bounds at the 9-yard line. So the Razorbacks get to the end zone, but Michigan comes right back on the next drive, and they're inside the 10.
Well, it's amazing how that goes hand in hand. You make a completion, then you come back with the running game. Defense is playing a little bit soft, and they busted straight up the gut. Clarence Williams has no touchdowns this year. As a matter of fact, you got to go way back to find a touchdown for him.
I think September of '97, the last time that Clarence got to the end zone. So it's first and goal for Michigan and Lloyd Carr. A timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. We'll be back in a moment. The Razorbacks up 7-3 over the Wolverines, but Michigan with first and goal from the 9-yard line. 8:33 left until halftime. And it's a double tight end set that comes to the line for the Wolverines. Clarence Williams, the lone setback. Marcus Knight to the near side. Ty Streets to the top of your screen. Williams looks for room. Tripped up, falls ahead for maybe 2. And you wonder if they're going to try to get Clarence Williams that touchdown that has eluded him since the beginning of last year.
Interesting what Michigan's doing here to counter that guy right there, Keith Burns. They're bringing Campbell, their tight end. They move him in motion. They set him into an H-back position, and then they bring him up in front of the running back. Look at 88, the tight end. They're bringing him around. They're sticking him in front of Williams, so you're getting an extra blocking back. And I mean, Campbell's huge at 6'6", 260.
Second and goal from the 8. Here come the Razorbacks. The fade to Streets. Well covered, and there was contact. There's the flag. David Barrett locked up one-on-one with Ty Streets, but he got the arms in there.
Michigan coaches telling us they get down in the red zone. There's no question they want to take advantage of the height mismatch. Streets 6'4", DB 5'10". Watch banging and pushing and shoving down here. They're bumping and grinding, both looking back for the football. Incidental contact. Should not be a flag thrown on that play. Should not be a flag. Both guys looking back, gaining position. They call interference.
By the defense, the penalty takes place in end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 2-yard line, first and goal.
Automatic first down, too. Keith Burns used to nut. They agree with you, Tim.
You know, first of all, you have to look if, in fact, the ball was catchable. If it's not, pick the flag back up. Then you have to look and say, did somebody gain an advantage by that contact? I didn't think anybody did. Both looking back for the ball, both battling, both have a right to the football.
Well, it's first and goal at the 2. Shea the fullback, Thomas the running back. There goes Anthony Thomas in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Aaron Shea, the fullback, led the way for Anthony Thomas. His 13th touchdown of the year.
Boy, what a great job by the Michigan offensive line. You roll it, and you stop right there, and you say, wait a minute, there's no hole. He stopped at the goal line. But the official down here in the right-hand corner saying Wilson got there late. The ball broke the plane. Touchdown, Michigan. Great effort by Thomas.
Feely's extra point up and good. So we expected more of this from the outset. But here in the second quarter, we got some offense. Thomas with the touchdown run. The man that led them sitting right next to him. 10-7 Michigan.
Michigan takes the lead with the A train on this touchdown, Anthony Thomas. But watch how close it is. Here's Wilson with a hit at the goal line. Does the ball break the plane? Well, I'll tell you this. That's awfully close. But it did break the plane. That is a touchdown. And even though they pushed it back, the officials right there made the call. And Thomas gets the score. 6 carries, 56 yards, 10-7 lead for Michigan, but it was awfully close.
I don't think the official expected Thomas to go in the other direction. They expected him to end up 3 yards into the end zone. So Lloyd Carr's squad on top, 10-7. Just under 8 minutes left until halftime. Emmanuel Smith, Hubert Loudermilk back deep for Arkansas. From his own 2. Spins up to about the 19. That's about it. And let's take it to New York and check in right now with John Saunders. John?
Fair little update from the Outback Bowl. Kentucky against Penn State. The Nittany Lions have been struggling moving the football here. Choppy field goes around the end. Plus a couple of tackles and 19 yards for the touchdown. 26-14. The Nittany Lions with the lead. Terry, back to you.
All right, John, thanks. We were in Happy Valley for the last game of the year, Tim. You and I for a Penn State-Michigan State game, and Penn State rolled all over them. They're one of the better teams right now. I think much better than they were at the beginning of the season. Chris Chikuma on first down gets the carry out to the 20, a gain of a yard and a half, 2 yards. Dean, what information have you picked up down on the sideline?
Well, Fitz Hill was one of the 2 hangover coaches. Hangover maybe is not the right word. The holdover
Especially
coaches.
today.
Not on New Year's Day.
Anyway, he was one of the coaches that was picked up by Houston Nutt. He was just talking to his wide receivers a minute ago, and he said, Michael Williams, if they continue to blitz from the inside the linebackers, you're going to get 300 yards. And then Timmy said, we're going to continue to try to get the double post. The double post. Layman's language, we're going to go for the jugular. They didn't show that.
All right, Dean, second down over the middle that time. They got Michael Williams, the man you just mentioned.
Well, if they're going to the double post, then they're setting it up right here because he just ran a short post pattern. He's going to go down 12 yards, and he's going to cut it in toward the goal post in the middle of the field, and they put the ball right there between the 8 and the 4. So if Dean's right, I'm sure he is, and that's what they would like to get on the blitz when it's man coverage. Well, they just set it up with a post there. Now they come back with the exact same formation. If you look, they've got 2 receivers, and it's Williams up there with Smith at the top of your screen.
First down, Sterner off play action. Plenty of time and plenty of room to run if he wants to. Throwing back, almost picked off. And that is one that you know Clint Sterner is going to think of twice and say, why didn't I just tuck it and run? He had a lot of green ahead of him and no receiver where he threw the ball.
Now, they didn't try to run the double post here, but the play was not there. It was well covered. He still throws to the middle for the post coming back, but what happened was Williams, who was supposed to be there, went outside, never brought it back in.
So it's 2nd and 10. They run the draw to Chikuma, who bounces out. Tommy Hendricks wraps him up, along with Dahani Jones. But a good gain for Chikuma, a gain of 5 on the play. Chikuma bigger than Madre Hill, the other running back for Arkansas. He goes by 225.
Well, the name of Dahani Jones, guy from my neighborhood up in Maryland. A free-spirited hitter. We talked about him earlier about being a Renaissance guy. Here is a painter, a poet. The guy is very, very intelligent. He has great grades. He's a National Honor Society guy at a high school. Mom's a doctor. I mean, it is just one of those quality families that you like to hear about in college football.
Wants to be a neurosurgeon, and there It's picked off by Ian Gold. He may get there. He's got Sterner to beat. Touchdown, Michigan. Gold with the interception and brings it back 46 yards to pay dirt. It's the Michigan defense that has caused all kinds of problems today for Clint Sterner.
Well, I agree with that, Terry. I also think that Sterner is just not all there right now with his passing. I mean, his receiver fell down, but he's still not sharp. That's 2 plays in a row he threw where there was no receiver. Michigan was just sitting in a zone, and the ball just came right to goal.
Field with the extra point. Up and good.
Take another look at the play. Here's Sterner. He's reading the zone. He throws it. His receiver fell down. Gold just sitting there. That is impressive. He just threw it right to him. It looked like it was intended for Gold. He takes it home.
The Michigan defense, which led their comeback from an 0-2 start this season to win 7 of 8, now leading the way in the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. The interception by Ian Gold brought it back 46 yards, and it is 17-7. Aiden Epstein will tee it up once again.
That was such a big play by Gold with the interception because, as you mentioned, their defense really is making the difference in this ball game. And Michigan started the season with 9 of 11 starters off last year's top-ranked defense, but their 2 losses were huge. Charles Woodson and Glenn Steele. Then you had Dave Taylor hurt, and then Marcus Ray missed the first 6 games, and Peterson was out. So they've lost some consistency, but playing well here today.
Especially the linebacking core first couple of games. One of the reasons that you saw that Epstein's kick out of the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And a reminder coming up, the National Car Rental halftime report. John Saunders, Todd Blackledge, bringing you scores and highlights of the bowl games around the country. A preview of the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T, including a report from Tim, your former partner, Keith Jackson, out in Pasadena. And we bring you halftime activities right here at the stadium.
Talked to Keith last night, late into the night, almost put in the new year on the phone. He sounds great. Looking forward to the Rose Bowl and the Fiesta. The Steelers Fiesta Bowl for the national championship. Michigan beginning their drives at their own 36.
Much worse for Arkansas. Straight ahead goes Montre Hill, not for much though. Ian Gold, the man who just made the interception, and ran it back for a touchdown initially and on the stop. Sam Sawyer. Now it's got to surprise you to this point the way that Michigan has been able to shut down Clint Sterner and the Arkansas offense. Michigan, a heck of a defense, but some way, somehow, the Razorbacks normally get it done. Play action for Sterner. Quick out. Nice catch coming back for the ball. Emmanuel Smith out at the 29. His 3rd catch of the afternoon, right in front of Todd Howard.
And that ball was rifled. I want to tell you that Sterner that time stepped into it and just ripped it. That was a terrific catch by Smith, who went up, snagged it, didn't quite get the first, although he reached forward to try to get it. Now you've got 3rd and short. I would be opposed here to come back and just have Sterner quarterback sneak, get the first, then we'll get back into that first down mode.
Caston Chakuma, the backfield right behind Clint Sterner, who wants to talk it over with Houston Nutt on the sideline.
Clint looked frustrated that time. Looked like he did not have the play, and the play clock had gotten down to the point he didn't want to delay a game, so he quickly called the timeout. Was not happy with how long it took to get the play in.
And while we have a break in the action, we'll step away, see what's coming up on ABC, and be back in a moment. Third down and about a yard coming up for Arkansas. Terry Gannington, Grant D. Blevins here at the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. Nasty weather around the country, but not here in Orlando. 70 degrees, bright sunshine.
Just a magnificent day. We came to the stadium this morning, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky, and it just had that Swedish blue tint to it.
3rd and short. Sterner after the timeout. Under center. Here comes Smith in motion. Going to give it to the fullback, Norman, who fights his way ahead, and he should have the first down. He scrambles outside the 30, and that's where he needed to get to, so they'll move the chains. They'll have 4:21 until halftime here to get this offense going.
You know, Grant Garrett, the center, came into the ballgame with a bad back. They didn't know how long he'd be able to go, but Garrett, Holsworth, Brown were right there clearing things out. They got the first down. But Garrett was slow getting up, the center, so we'll keep an eye on it.
This has been an offensive line that has been a surprise this year, how well they've played. You look at Garrett, Brandon Burlsworth, an All-American, and right guard. Quick out, popped up. Fortunate that that one's not picked off. And you don't see that happen, well, maybe once or twice in a season. Anthony Lucas having to go right off his shoulder pad.
Well, and he looked back quickly at Sterner and said, my bad, pounded his chest. He knew that was his fault. The ball was well thrown. The play was designed. Now they're going to hurry up and try to catch Michigan here without being able to put in their substitutes and change their scheme for the down and distance.
Out of the shotgun and Sterner, they did this once earlier in the game and it worked. Flushed out of the pocket. Has room to run. And knocked out of bounds by Dahani Jones. He should be 2 or 3 yards shy of a first down, but a good gain on second down for Clint Sterner.
I thought it was interesting when we were talking to Lloyd Carr about Clint Sterner. He said, you know, the thing that sticks out when you watch the tape on him and you break down the films is this is one tough guy. This guy is a quarterback who not only is talented, he's not only smart, but this guy, if he doesn't want to be a quarterback, Lloyd Carr said, he could play linebacker for Michigan because he's that tough.
To which Sterner told us he wants no part of linebacker.
Or Michigan at this point.
Third down and 2, and an important one here for Arkansas. There goes Anthony Lucas. He falls down at the 38, got a first down in Michigan territory, and I'm not sure anyone tripped him up. But a big gain for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, he dropped that pass a minute ago, and he trips on his own here, so he's not happy with himself. But he gets the matchup right here with Weathers. And watch, beats Weathers. It's a cover 2 situation, so the safety's supposed to come up and help Hendricks, 41. He doesn't get there in time. That ball was well thrown.
Lucas with 22 yards on that play, and look at the average.
The 2 big receivers, yeah.
Arkansas, we told you earlier, the wide receivers averaging over 15 yards per catch for the entire season. Michael Williams, number 84, with a catch. And the short gain of 5,
That's complete to Williams,
which they'll take on first down every time. Fourth catch of the afternoon for Williams.
Short game of 5, sure, but what it does, it brings up second down and 5, so now the defense has to think, wait a minute, pass or run, they could do either. In the shotgun, probably pass. Time's a factor under 3 minutes, so Sterner will probably go on the draw.
They spread the field, get it inside to Montre Hill, just as you said. And he's got a first down for Arkansas. On cue from Tim Brandt, Montre Hill.
You know,
the carry.
You already given it to him.
I give you credit. But he picked up 9.
But that, seriously, is the danger of 2nd and 5, and that's why that pass was so important to set that up.
25.
So it's first and 10 at the 25 now. There's the matchup with Gold. Out on Lucas. Sterner throwing it up, this time for Maury Allen. And incomplete. Threw it to the outside shoulder. Rossi turned inside. And that's not the matchup you'd expect them to try to exploit.
No, what they were trying to do is they had both those guys on the same side of the field, and they sent Lucas into the middle hoping that he would pull the safety with him, but he didn't. They still had double coverage out there, so that play was a bust from the get-go.
Second and 10.
Numbers getting better for Clint Sterner. He was 1 for 7 to start the game, and then completed 5 in a row.
Arkansas really has to get some points on the board here to end the first half, down 17-7. I mean, mentally, as much as anything else, playing against Michigan.
Got 3 receivers to the far side. Michael Williams short-armed it. May have heard or seen Tommy Hendricks right behind him.
Michael Williams.
And Sterner, with those numbers a minute ago, he has had a few drops today, so they're a little bit misleading. 10-play drive, better than 3 minutes off the clock. And Arkansas down to 1 timeout now in the first half.
Third and 10.
So 3rd and 10 with 2:25 left until halftime. Play action for Sterner. Throwing it up. Anthony Lucas. Incomplete. Double coverage. And he was covered well by Howard and Patman.
Here he is right here working against Howard. Now when he gets to the outside, he still thinks he's got the double team beaten, but the ball again is overthrown. All he wants is a chance. Just put it in the corner and let him go up against those DBs and try to bring it down.
So Tom Latourette, the senior out of Pensacola, Florida, on for a try.
Latourette attempting a
42 yards away. Plenty of leg. Inside the left upright. And good.
It's good.
Latourette, one of the best around, the top man in the SEC.
And that is a huge positive for Arkansas. We'd said they had to score on this drive, touchdown or field goal. They get the field goal, they're down by 1 touchdown, and they want to keep it that way or score again, obviously, by the half. But, I mean, they've climbed back into this thing because I think mentally it was becoming a huge factor for Arkansas. They haven't had the success over the years that Michigan has. Emotion is a big factor.
7-point game right now. We talked to Lloyd Carr before this game about what jumped out at him when he watched the tapes of Arkansas.
2 things impressed me. Their yards per catch, over 15 yards every catch they make, which over the course of 11-game season is a tremendous accomplishment. And their turnover margin. They're turning the ball over much less than they're getting it back, and that's always, I think, the mark of an outstanding team.
Well, Lloyd Carr's team so far with the turnover advantage with the interception by Gold and the touchdown.
And doing a quite nice job on the receivers. The receivers really have not gotten on track for Arkansas. So his 2 big concerns he's taking care of.
Anthony Thomas back at his own 4 to a Wade Latourette kickoff. They switched it up. Thomas now goes up, but it's an up man who catches it at the 21. Rob Renas, I believe, was the man. Yeah. How'd you like to see that man coming at you with the football?
Renas making the catch.
Brought down at the 30. That's where the Wolverines will start. Well, you remember a year ago where the Wolverines were. They were out in Pasadena playing in the Rose Bowl. 23-yarder. From Brian Greasy to Jeremy Tooman in the 4th quarter, turning out to be the winning score, 21-16 over Washington State. Lloyd Carr's magical 97 season.
You just won the national championship.
Of course, it turned out to be a co-national championship, but no better feeling than that in that locker room at that time. Tom Brady throwing it out to Marcus Knight, who drops it right near the first down marker. And just under 2 minutes for the Wolverines now to try to get more on the board.
Second time Knight has dropped the ball that was right there. The first one could have been a touchdown. This one, of course, had the first and would have been a big pickup as they're now trying to get down in field goal range under 2 minutes to play in the first half. But that ball was perfectly thrown.
And Michigan with 3 timeouts remaining. Right now, Knight, one of the better receivers around. I mean, he caught 41 passes during the year, and he just doesn't drop them like that. Out of the guys, Tom Brady. Under pressure, throwing it back. They set it up to Thomas. And a blocker out ahead of him. Houston got a first down. And knocked out at the 42-yard line. Kenoy Kennedy made sure he got out of bounds. They'll move the chains.
Arkansas was loaded up to bring the blitz, and Tom read it. All these guys are coming, so watch what happens. They throw the screen right where those guys are. Here they come on the blitz, boom, release, throw the screen, perfect ball, perfect execution, move the chains. Outstanding play by Brady, his read, his execution, and the first down.
They place it down at the 43 now for Brady, with plenty of time to throw, and overthrows Diallo Johnson, the junior out of Detroit, who was open over the middle.
Pass intended for Johnson, incomplete. David Barrett covering defensively.
A little oxygen on the sidelines.
Second and 10.
It was Michigan who came down a couple of weeks early like they did a year ago so they could get used to the heat. They were in Melbourne, Florida, and they came over to Orlando. Arkansas coming later than that because they're used to the heat. 2nd and 10. Here comes Painter on the blitz. Picked up nicely. Complete to Terrell with the spin move. Brought down at the 31-yard line. David Terrell, the freshman out of Richmond, Virginia. And credit Brady for picking up the blitz and getting rid of it.
Remember we told you in the open field, if you're a defensive back, you've got to hit a guy high. You don't want to go for his legs. You want to get him high where there's more body. You can get him. You don't have to worry about a hard hit. Just be sure that you make the contact. In that case, guys were diving at his legs and missing tackles at the impact with the point of reception.
Keith Burns with that defense that blitzes and comes after you. They really haven't been able to get to Tom Brady at all. They've had pressure on him, but he's done nicely in the face of that. Going to throw for it all to Streets in the end zone, tipped away. Barrett got a hand on it at the last moment.
Barrett just saved a touchdown, and Kennedy was late coming over because Streets was open. Look, he's got Barrett beaten here. If the ball is thrown to the corner, Streets has a touchdown. Now Kennedy will come into the picture, 29, but he was late getting there as well. If that ball's thrown into the corner, Streets has 6 more. Great job by Barrett making up ground to get to the ball.
He's been their best cornerback all season long. The man who is the cover man. He's been locked on with Ty Streets much of this game.
And he is again.
But 2nd and 10. Here they come after Brady. They set up the screen again. Thomas can't get away from Wilson. Harry Wilson, a great play. There is a flag. And it's on this side of the field on the near side at the 30-yard line. And it's going to go against Arkansas.
Make some adjustments at halftime. The backside screen has hurt him. A couple of times the running game has hurt him when they've gotten out of the area, run out of an area, and left the zone free.
Defense, hot dogs in the previous spot remains down.
Dean, what's up on the field?
Guys, John Jansen, big number 77. You talk about a mainstay. He is at 6'7", 294. He's manhandling his man. Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year. His players really respect him. He'll be a first-round pick. You know, he has his players are saying, you look at him, you know you just got to play harder. We don't want to let him down. That's great senior leadership. This guy's a stud.
They call him the Rock.
Yeah.
Academic All-American. He is a stud.
They're coming after Brady again. They pick it up again. Over the middle to Streets. Inside the 5 this time. 1st and goal for the Wolverines. He caught it right in front of David Barrett.
We tell you again, he's 6'4", he's working against 5'9.5" Barrett, but the height advantage didn't even come into play there. The ball was perfectly thrown on the post pattern, just caught him in stride. Give that one to Tom Brady because this ball is perfectly thrown. Watch the cut, fake outside, come back inside. Now he's got leverage, got the inside advantage, and the ball's sitting there waiting for him. Tom Brady, perfect pass.
4th catch of the day for Ty Streets.
Here's Jansen. We just talked about him. He's a former tight end. Started every game of his career. Set the Michigan record for his for starts. And he's also a great leader. And we told you, academic All-American. Look at the clock. Call timeout. Call timeout. Look, he's stopping the clock right now for his teammates because he wants the timeout.
So Michigan, they'll talk it over. 2 timeouts left for them right now, but 41 seconds until halftime, so that's almost a moot point. They'll try to get it in the end zone. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5. Great shots high above the Citrus Bowl here. Aerial coverage brought to you by the Bud 1 Airship. High above the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl.
Right now, Michigan's offensive line having its way with Arkansas's defense. Giving Brady all the time he needs to throw. He knows where that mismatch is, and we talked about all day. You're probably sick of it with Streets. And then the offensive line just doing everything it has to get holes open for Thomas.
Another tight end set now for the Wolverines. Anthony Thomas, the long setback. That streaks to the near side. Thomas looks to get outside. He's going to get there to the end zone, and a touchdown for the Wolverines. This is an offense that has struggled at times this year, especially with the ground game, but they're not struggling at all today against Arkansas, who came in as the defense that was maybe a little undersized, but they had plenty of speed and caused havoc. Hasn't gone that way.
Well, I tell you again, they bring the tight end to get out in front of him, but he even outruns his tight end. Thomas sees the flag. He sees there's no containment out there, and he just runs for the pylon and makes it.
Bailey's extra point, perfect. So with 34 seconds until halftime, Michigan goes ahead even further, up by 14 now.
I want to show you what Anthony Thomas saw by the pylon and why he took this wide. Here's your receiver out here. Watch David Terrell, number one. He knows it's a run. All of a sudden, he locks up Barrett. That's what the running back sees Thomas. He says, I can make it to the pylon as long as I've got David out there putting that block on Barrett. And he did, and he scored.
Well, there was some speculation that maybe the Michigan fans not as excited because they won a co-national championship last year to come down here. That hasn't been the case all week, and it certainly isn't the case so far in the first half for Lloyd Carr. This is what the SEC has done against the Big Ten in this game. 5-1, and Lloyd Carr wanted a piece of that.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and he was sick of hearing about that. And everybody said, well, the SEC is so fast that that's why they've beaten the big, slow teams from the cold Midwest. And you're right, that's a 5-1 advantage. That's over the last 6 years here at the Citrus Bowl. But keep in mind, Michigan and Lloyd Carr are 14-4-1 all time against the SEC. So, I mean, that was just a more of a motivator for them because they knew coming in, or at least they felt in their minds they could beat Arkansas.
Emmanuel Smith watches this one sail once again out of the end zone. Hayden Epstein booming them today. Lloyd Carr did say, though, that he'd be willing to move the game to Ann Arbor as long as it was played this late and with this weather.
Yeah, he certainly believes that there's an advantage for the SEC teams. When you come down here and you play in the South, you play in the SEC region, and, you know, he says it's like playing an away game. It's not a neutral site. Arkansas now has 34 seconds. They've got one timeout. They want to get this thing up into field goal range. To do that, they have to get up to the 35-yard line.
Their field goal kicker, Todd Lederer, he's long a 48-yarder this year. Going to give it inside, though, to Mondre Hill. He spins away and up to the 22. They're going to run out this clock 10 instead.
Well, they're deep in their own territory. They don't want to give any points back to Michigan.
That's what it appears they're going to do.
34 seconds and a timeout in your pocket. I think I would have at least tried to go to the outside and try to move the chains and see if, in fact, we can get up and get some breathing room. But if you can, then you take a shot to get it down to the 35, the Michigan 35, to see if you can set up a field goal. But now there's no time for that. This will be the last play.
Sterner going to be careful just throwing this one out into the flats. And caught by Smith as time runs out here in the first half. So it's the Wolverines who have dominated this first half, 24-10. Coming up next, the National Car Rental halftime report. Let's take you right now to John Saunders and Tom Blackledge in the studio in New York.
All right, Terry, thanks a lot. And coming up next on the National Car Rental halftime report, a look at highlights 3.
Because of the one turnover.
Very similar statistically, but the Razorbacks have not been able to come up.
Because of the one turnover.
Very similar statistically, but the Razorbacks have not been able to come up with the big plays, and Michigan has, and the turnover, as you said, was certainly a key. Arkansas won the toss at the beginning of the game and deferred to the second half. So Emmanuel Smith back deep with Hubert Loudermilk. They're standing at the goal line. There's Hubert, number 39.
Arkansas will have the ball first, but it's going to be interesting to see what defensive changes and adjustments the Razorbacks have made.
Aiden Epstein's kickoff. He sent 3 of them out of the end zone in the first half. This one sending Smith 9 yards deep and down to 1 knee. They'll bring it out to the 20.
In the first half, Arkansas got off to a pretty good start. They hit Lucas, then came back here to Michael Williams. Williams runs it in. He had 5 receptions, including that touchdown. That made it 7-3 Arkansas. They caught Michigan in the zone. But here's the turnover we were talking about. They're in the zone. The Arkansas receiver falls down. Ian Gold gets the ball, returns it 46 yards. That made it 17-7. We're at 24-10 right now. But that play right there was massive in the outcome of that first half.
So it's Clint Sterner bringing his team up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 20. Houston Nutt's team trying to get things going offensively, and they'll try to do it out of the shotgun on 1st down with a 3-receiver set to the far side. He goes over the middle to his tailback, Chris Chikuma, for a short gain of about 2 to the 21-yard line. Dean Blevins down on the field. What kind of changes were made at halftime?
Well, I talked with 3 of the coaches. Lloyd Carr says he believes his team has some measure of control of this game. He said that Carr believed that his team had too many penalties. He believed that they need to dominate more physically. He thinks they can do that. Burns defensively said Arkansas must create turnovers, tackle better. And Houston Nutt told me, he told the team, guys, you got to have composure. We've got to sustain drives offensively.
All right, Dean, we'll see if that happens. 2nd and 9. Sterner on the run. Has the 1st down before Dhani Jones can run him out of bounds. So they'll move the chains.
Interesting what Dean said after talking to Lloyd Carr, that they had some measure of control of this game. Now, we talked about the statistics. You look at it, Arkansas ran more plays. They're within a yard of each other in total offense. And yet, you did have that feeling that it was the Wolverines that really controlled that first half. He's right. Arkansas does have to get some sustained drives, and they have not been able to do it. That 1st down right there is big, but that's only a start. They've got to really get this thing going, running and passing.
A good start for the Razorbacks on the first series of the 2nd half. They're going to give it to Chikuma, wrapped up in the backfield. Number 93, Sam Sword, who has led the Wolverines in tackles the last 3 seasons.
You know, when you look at this game and you watch what's taking place, Arkansas offensively really hasn't gone to what's made them this year, and that's been the pass. Look at this, less than 10 yards, 8 passes. Then you look at the longer passes, they haven't been able to go down there. They aren't having any success. So what Michigan's doing, they've got this umbrella defense. They aren't letting them go deep. And so consequently, Arkansas is trying to throw underneath the coverage, and they're not getting anywhere with it.
Play action for Sterner this time. Has plenty of time. And throws it behind Anthony Lucas, who is open right ahead of Dhani Jones. He had some room to run if he can get that ball.
But again, if you looked at where he was on the field and what was behind him, there were 7 blue jerseys on the other side of him. 7 blue jerseys behind him, so they're still throwing underneath.
Wolverines shutting down Anthony Lucas for the most part in the first half. Trips to the near side. 3 of 9 on the day on 3rd down. Over the middle, Williams juggled, makes the catch. He's got a 1st down. Nice catch by Michael Williams, and he's been the main target. He's got 6 catches on the afternoon.
Yeah, there's 6 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown, so he is having a huge afternoon. But again, he made the catch under the coverage. So I think Michigan came into this game with a game plan of we're going to keep all those receivers in front of us. As long as we do that and make them work, we're going to be in control of the game, and they are.
Quick set, shotgun, inside give. Chikuma, the tailback, looks for room, and he's got some. Good gain to the 47-yard line of Michigan. It was Ian Gold that brought him down.
You know, he's a good-looking young player. He's only a junior. He was the leading rusher this year for the Hogs. He set that Arkansas freshman rushing record in '96 with 560 yards. Had that back injury, knocked him out after 4 games last year, but he had another big year. Ran for 166 yards against LSU.
2nd and 3. Williams didn't look for it quickly enough. Sterner hit him, but he wasn't looking for the football.
Yeah, and Sterner's letting him know about it, too. He just pointed at him and acted like, come on, get in the ball game. It actually hit him in the thigh because he didn't turn his head. Look, Williams is just shaking his head like, man, I got to make that catch.
And he does.
He does. Now, he throws into coverage, but watch, he throws it with a lot of velocity, slips it through the 2 defenders, and it just hits Williams. He's got to make that catch. And Sterner lets him know about it.
Would have been a first down. As it is, it's 3rd and 3. 4 drops on the afternoon. Under pressure, Sterner's going to go down at the 39-yard line. Joaquin Fizel, who had 5 sacks on the year. Now, there's a flag down at the 45, and we'll wait and see what that's about.
I believe that's going to be holding against Arkansas, so they'll decline the penalty and have Arkansas punt. So they'll decline that, and they'll make Arkansas punt. But watch, they came with some heat again this time, and they're overloading. They're doing the old Arkansas trick. Here comes Michigan. They do a little stunt, play a little game, do a little crisscross, and there's just no way they can stop that. They aren't just big, they aren't just strong, but they too are quick. And that time you saw the quickness with the sack.
It brings up 4th down, Chris Aiken. The junior back to punt. Diallo Johnson back deep at his own 20. Not a good punt at all, off the side of the foot. But it does take a Razorback bounce. And down at the 28-yard line. Only a 32-yard punt, though, for Aiken. So the Wolverines will have it. Try to take advantage of Houston Nutt's defense when we come back.
Expenditures have slightly decreased 2.9% over the course of the fiscal year. So, Jim, would you care to elaborate on this?
Jim?
The Accord from Honda. How will it affect you?
Are you with us, Jim?
It is one of the most powerful warships, with satellite communications, radar and propulsion systems that are the most advanced in the world. But USS Mitcher cannot do a single thing without you. Because the most important part of USS Mitcher is her crew of over 250 sailors who every day embark on a journey of honor, of courage, and of commitment. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
The Napa Legend battery has smart plates, which are up to 28% thicker than the grids in ordinary batteries. That's important, because the battery won't get drained as easily, even if you leave the lights on. Napa, over 200,000 parts. And everyone's important.
TV Guide has voted Sports Night the best new cast of the year. Catch this unique new show that's made countless top 10 lists.
It's a well-oiled machine.
At all new Sports Night, ABC Tuesday.
The first day of 1999. First game of the day here on ABC Sports. A full lineup. World Championship Series, of course, starts next with the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T.
Field position becoming a factor in this game now after that short punt. You can see Michigan's had an advantage there. They've actually outgained Arkansas 73-19 in return yards.
Clarence Williams trying to outrun Zach Painter. He does so. It's David Barrett who eventually runs him out of bounds, but a good gain of 5 yards on first down. And don't forget, Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, the national championship on the line. The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. #1 Tennessee against #2 Florida State. And remember, too, for the first time, Enhanced TV, ESPN.com. You log on there. You can be a part of this.
I love this. You can just push some buttons. You can get some bios of the players. You can get your graphics. You can get all that. You can actually direct the game.
There goes Clarence Williams on a swing pass. He's got a first down outside the 40-yard line. Yeah, and you can play a game along with people around the country trying to predict who's going to get the carry on the next play, who's going to receive the pass, how many yards they're going to get.
All right, let's do that on this next play. I say Michigan is going to streets.
I say Michigan is going to Clarence Williams on first down. How about you, Dean? What do you think down in the field?
I think they will fumble and Arkansas will pick it up and get back in the ball game, guys.
I'm telling you right now, see this guy right here? There he goes. At streets. There's your matchup.
Dean going for the home run. There goes Knight in motion. And for once I'm right. Clarence Williams straight ahead for a gain of about 7.
See, you pushed the right button.
My first prediction of the new year, and I actually got it right. So I'm ahead on the enhanced TV.
That's good stuff.
Game. Melvin Bradley, who was shaken up earlier in the game, he's back in. In fact, he was back in late in that first half. So that's good to see. The senior out of Barton, Arkansas.
Here's a guy, one pass less than 10 yards. Everything else is going downfield. Came into this game hitting 18 different receivers this year. He's spreading the ball well. Goes back to the run like Terry Paul, and he's having success.
Anthony Thomas drops the football. It's loose, and Arkansas has it.
Hold it. Dean was right.
He was just wrong on when it would happen. David Barrett comes up with a fumble. And the first big play and big mistake by Michigan, and the Razorbacks have a shot now.
This enhanced TV is great. This is a big play here. Now, we talked about turnovers. How that helped Michigan in the first half. You've got to believe this will help here. Here's Thomas, gets stripped. It was Painter who got his hand in there and just swiped it away. And then here comes Barrett, makes the recovery. But that is a big play for the Arkansas defense after not being able to stop Michigan.
What do you have, Dick? Guys, you recall Burns said right before the beginning of the second half, we've got to create turnovers to turn this game around.
Well, they did, too, and Painter got his hand in there and stripped it well, and Barrett was alert enough to fall on it.
And the first time all afternoon, you feel like Arkansas may have the momentum. That's another one dropped by Michael Williams. Keith Burns on the sideline with his defense.
Boom, then we're out of there. Hey, let me tell you something now. That was big-time defense. You had to go get the turnover. You got to tackle better, and we're a little bit soft. But I'll tell you what, you just got the ball back, and we're going to go down and score. You got it? All eyes right here. We're going to go down and score. Start crossing some hats on the blocks. Start tackling like you want to tackle, and it's going to turn around. Hey, great job with it on it. Great job.
That's Keith Burns. He's selling, he's selling, he's selling. He's trying to make them believe, saying, hey, look, we just made something happen. Now we're going to go down and score.
I wonder how many pieces of gum he swallows while yelling at his defense during the game. There goes Sterner with room. Cuts back, has a first down. To the 46-yard line, and a big gain for Clint Sterner on the ground before Dahani Jones can run him down. A gain of 17.
Sterner's making something happen with his athletic ability, but he's still having trouble with his defense. They're playing too deep, they're playing 5 under, and it's causing problems because he cannot find anybody to throw to. Here again, now he just tucks it away. Now watch this. He'll even make the pitch at the end of this. Whoop, and pulls it back, gets the first before Dahani Jones can make the stop. He's a terrific, terrific competitor.
His numbers on the ground today. Inside give, Chris Chikuma wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Powers his way maybe back to the original line. James Hall stood him up. Hall, the junior out of New Orleans, leads this team in sacks. As you look at Chikuma, who had another good year. You mentioned a couple of years ago he had a great one before the injury last year.
Now, when you watch Michigan now go into this defense, I'm going to show you something. See, these two guys right here are the 2 deep. All right, now everybody else is playing under. Look at all these guys. That's what's really causing the problems here. And Arkansas has to throw in here because they cannot throw deep because they're sitting back waiting for him.
Out of the gun this time. They're going to throw for Omari Allen.
Like I said,
makes the catch inside the 20-yard line. Dwayne Patman on the coverage and the tackle, but they went big this time.
They were in a 2 deep, 5 under zone. And anytime a team is in a zone, there are open areas, but you have to find your way to the seam. Now, it's been difficult all day for Sterner to do it. There you go again. See the 2 deep, the 5 under? Now they're dropping back into their zones. But if you stop it there, look at this open area in here. He throws it in the seam between the 2 defenders. It's got to be a perfect pass, but they got it in, and now they're hurrying up on the offense.
Quick to the line of scrimmage on the bootleg is Sterner.
That should be a flag.
And it is. Hubert Loudermilk, the intended receiver, but James Whitley was all up his back.
Whitley pushed him, shoved him, almost tackled him before the ball got there. What's amazing to me is that the linesman, the guy on the side, was sitting there watching it. The flag came from way back by the back judge.
Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator.
Against the defense, the ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, 1st and 10.
Whitley had good coverage. Whitley had good coverage, but watch this. He gets too aggressive. He starts to lose his leverage. There's the push. There's the trip. And then you'll see out of the left hand, the flag comes flying in. When a guy puts his hands up, he's guilty.
They place it down just outside the 11, so it's 1st and 10, and Arkansas can get a first down without a touchdown. Chris Chikuma finding a big hole and all the way down to the 2. And Arkansas offensive line now creating space for the tailbacks.
Come back to that Painter making the trip, Barrett making the recovery, Keith Burns saying to the defense they're going to score, and here is the punctuation. They're running this thing now. Jakuma's running with confidence and authority, and if they push this in, it's going to be a big boost for Arkansas, and they'll start believing what Keith Burns told them.
All started with that turnover. Norman Chikuma, the backside of the eye. Chris Chikuma leaping over towards the goal line, and he gets there. The extension got him the touchdown. The fumble started it all. You could feel the momentum swing back to the Razorbacks, maybe for the first time today. And now they're right back in this thing. Latourette up and good.
Chikuma 6'1", 225 pounds. He ran the ball for 9 yards. He ran the ball for the touchdown and won an effort to put the ball over and break the plane.
Enjoying the game, Bob?
Well, I'm trying to, PC, but I'm worried about how to manage my company's information technology.
Hey, who isn't? But there is an easy solution.
Quit?
No, Bob. Just give CompUSA Corporate a call.
Oh.
They'll handle everything for you, from needs assessment to installation, maintenance, upgrades, even training and help desk support.
Wow.
Yeah, one call puts you in touch with over 50,000 computer products and all the service and support you'll ever need.
Sounds like CompUSA Corporate will do all my work for me.
Well, as relates to acquiring and utilizing computer equipment, it will.
Acquiring and utilizing. You're a fun guy at a football game.
Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of smokers have quit with Nicoderm CQ. Why? Because it helps calm your cravings with 3 steps to help bring you closer to your goal. And with Nicoderm CQ, you don't have to take some new drug or wait to get a prescription from the doctor. After all, you want to quit smoking, not make an appointment to quit smoking. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Okay, people, can we get started? Your offer to give my clients their own reading lights would be acceptable if they could read.
All right, each party gets their own sliding door.
Fine, but my client's ready to walk if he doesn't get a V6 out of this deal.
Okay, he gets his 6.
Yeah, but we still need our cargo space, Jack.
The all-new V6 Something for Everyone Honda Odyssey. It's one big happy minivan.
The CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl, this ABC Sports exclusive, brought to you by CompUSA, the computer superstore. Nike. American Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. And Payne Weber. Thank you, Payne Weber, for the advice. We've got ourselves a ball game here in Orlando. 24-17, Michigan on top, but the scoring drive by Arkansas a moment ago. 6 plays, 70 yards. Chris Chikuma taking it in. And it all started with the fumble, the strip, and then the fumble recovery by the defense for the Razorbacks. There's Anthony Thomas. And they've done this a few times so that they can't kick it away from Thomas. He moves into position to catch it. And out to the 30-yard line. Dean, what do you have?
Terry, the wind is a bigger factor. Obviously, that high kick only to the 22-yard line is a good example of it, but a great drive by Arkansas into the wind. The wind has picked them quite a bit in the last 20 minutes, and our ace meteorologist, Tim Brandt, says the weather's changing, huh, Tim? Arkansas has it in the 4th behind its back.
No question about it. You see that blue sky starting to turn a little bit white, clouds coming in.
He's an exciting guy, Dean. He watches game tape and the Weather Channel all week when he gets there for a bowl game.
Front coming through, boys.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Clarence Williams. There's a flag right at the point of the tackle.
Yeah, this is going to be called against John Jansen, I believe, for holding. Although I'm not sure it was. He got a pancake block, and I think the official just said that's not possible for a guy that big. Put a guy on his back like that unless he's holding.
Yep, they'll send him back. Dean did a report earlier about John Jansen, and
yeah,
what a
look
story
at Jansen shaking his head no, too. He said, I didn't hold him. I pancaked him.
Pleading his case to his teammates.
That's when you're so good, they can't believe it.
Doing the run, holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
So they'll back up Lloyd Carr's offense. I understand Dean Blevins has a special guest on the sidelines.
Yeah, Charles Woodson's with me, the Heisman winner from a year ago. Charles, your team, the Raiders, not in the playoffs. You get a chance to see your alma mater.
Yeah, I had to come back and check these guys out. They let Arkansas back in the game right now. They got to go ahead and buckle down and do the things they were doing in the first half.
Great tradition here at Michigan. When you're, what are your memories, your most vivid memories of playing for Michigan?
Well, I think playing in the Rose Bowl and having a chance to play for the national championship, that was the best time of my life last year, is going through all that stuff with the team.
All right, thanks for your time. And Champ Bailey got him 109 plays last night, but I don't know if he's quite in your league, but he had him a big game. Did you see any of that?
He's definitely a good player, and I know he'll be on the next level soon.
All right, thanks a bunch.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Dean, one of the reasons Michigan was 0-2 to start the year, trying to replace that guy. But Lloyd Carr has turned it around. They've won 7 of 8 to end the season. They've only lost to Ohio State during that stretch. There's Ty Streets with a catch in traffic. He held on to it. 5th catch of the afternoon. That may have been his most impressive because he knew he was going to get popped.
But it only gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and long. Now, they'd had some success running the football. On 2nd and long now, they've got to really think about this play and be selective now. What they've been doing is taking Mark Campbell, their tight end, and jamming him up in the middle as a lead blocker for Anthony Thomas, but I don't know if they can afford to do that here at 2nd and 10.
Williams the lone setback right now as Brady changes the play. Here come the Razorbacks. Quick out tonight. Gets out of bounds. His first catch of the afternoon. He dropped 2 crucial balls earlier. Kenoy Kennedy ran him out. Well, tomorrow live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Donovan McNabb in Syracuse take on Florida, the FedEx Orange Bowl. The Gators and the Orangemen returning to that bowl for the first time in more than 30 years. The Bowl Championship Series continuing here on ABC. 2 more games, of course, to follow this one today. 3rd and 4. Brady with time. Waited for his fullback, Shea. Got it to him. That's a great throw. Up to midfield and a first down.
Give the credit to that, not only to Tom Brady, but to his offensive line. They were trying to come hard, trying to get pressure on him, and as things were falling down around him, the offensive line just gave him a built-in pocket. Now watch this. All right, watch, he'll step up, stop right there. Look at this he's got protection all the way around him, in front of him, behind him. I mean, they did a super job of giving him that extra second there to let Shea come through and clear.
Tom Brady fired up. He's not the kind of guy who gets that excited out on the field. But he is right now. There goes Clarence Williams with room on the left side. Run out of bounds by David Barrett. There is a penalty marker at midfield. It's going to go against the Wolverines.
That's 8 penalties against Michigan. Correction, 9. That is the 9th against Michigan.
Doing the run, holding, offense. 10 yards to the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
Good look at the large crowd here at the Citrus Bowl, and of course aerial coverage provided today by the Bud 1 airship high above Orlando. Clear skies, although a little cloudier at this moment, as you mentioned, the front coming through and the wind picking up. So right now at the back of the Wolverines, but Arkansas will have it in the 4th quarter.
There's Streets. There's your matchup
against the youngster Green. Going to go over the middle this time, though. Marcus Knight can't hold on. Nice play by Harold Harris. He timed it perfectly to break it up. Harold Harris, only a freshman.
Knight having a big day, but Harold Harris gets the advantage here. Does not use the right hand to gain leverage. Goes with his left hand and strips it in front of Knight. Look at Brady. Thought he had another completion and just says, you got to be kidding me. Can't throw it any better than that. But that was a great defensive play by Harold Harris.
We got Harris, a freshman at one corner, Green, and Green, a redshirt freshman at the other corner right now, trying to stop these wideouts. And doing it for the moment. Brady looks to set up the screen. Finally got it out, but that play didn't look good from the time it started. And there's a penalty marker again. This time near the line of scrimmage.
Wait to see what the call is, but Jamel Harris is acting guilty like he's got one for taunting. I thought they had an ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, as long as it took to set that up, it sounds right.
That might have been what Harris was talking about.
Offensive interference against Michigan. The ball was in the air and there was contact. I didn't pick it up.
Now Jamel Harris is still talking to the officials.
Pass interference against the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Well, we're not the only ones who didn't see it. Lloyd Carter certainly didn't either.
Well, you know, and Lloyd's upset. And this is a problem that Michigan has had, and that's why he spent an extra hour in practice every day with officials working on things. I mean, they've had penalties, and so Michigan had officials come to its practice because he believed avoiding penalties in this ball game was going to be crucial. He doesn't like the call either.
Double digits in penalties now, and there's 7:20 left in the third quarter. 89 yards in penalties. Brady on play action and picked off. Intercepted by Flowers. Taking it inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. His fourth interception of the year.
Great play by Quentin Caver. Watch 53. Stop it. Here's 53. He's going to make him throw, but he doesn't want to. Actually gets a hand on it and knocks his arm. Then here comes Flowers. He has the deflection. He's got the dead duck football. He makes the interception. Now he's looking for help. And look at guys get in front of him. C.J. McLean down, loads him up. But the arm was hit by Caver. Flowers made the pick. Here's 43. C.J. McLean trying to get a block. And another turnover. Arkansas was looking for him. Now they're getting him, and they're going to capitalize.
First and goal at the 8-yard line. Chris Chikuma trying the right side, has a hole. Down to the 3. The junior out of Montgomery, Alabama, who scored on the previous drive after the fumble. So 2 turnovers turning this game around.
This is a nightmare right now for Michigan because they were, in fact, in charge of this football game. Now they've got 10 penalties. They've turned the ball over 2 times in this half, and Arkansas is about to score for the second time in this half and take the lead.
Second and goal.
Double tight end set now for the Razorbacks. Nathan Cole, Joe Dean Davenport, the tight ends. Caston and Chikuma, the backs. Chikuma straight ahead, powers his way to the 1. With his Michigan defense, not going to give him anything easily.
No, that's right. Give them a lot of credit because Gazelle, Williams, Reynes, and Hall are as good as you're going to find up front. They're doing a great job down here in goal line defense. But you hate it when your defense gets backed up like that because of turnovers. You know, we always say you shorten the field, it's like running downhill. Look at Burlsworth with his new glasses. Looks like Clark Kent.
He told us Drew Carey, but the same thing. That's who they're trying to run behind.
Yeah, see if they don't follow him up right behind him now.
Caston and Chikuma out of the eye again. Chikuma leaps. He gets there. Chris Chikuma with another touchdown. This time left his feet and jumped over the pile. And it's a one-point game.
And they're going to go for the tie, not the lead, and that's a good call here, going for one, obviously. Still early in the ball game. But again, they went behind Garrett and Bullsworth. Some of the players, I think, were losing it a little bit, letting emotion get in the way, called for two.
Latterette, again, perfect for the extra point. And we start all over again. A new game, 24-24. Arkansas has worked their way back into this one. And they've done it off of turnovers and on the ground with Chikuma.
Let's see. College in 4 years. Costs up 40% over the next 5. Somebody do the math here.
It'd be great if our money would grow as fast as these kids. I can't believe.
Will paying for college be as painful as this? Let's get rid of it.
Hey, that kid just dropped a pretzel? Because I like pretzels. I really like
We'll be able to help with their
I
education.
wonder if we should have put that money in a trust. Maybe we would have.
I hope she was kidding about college in Hawaii.
Thank you, Payne Weber.
The Civic from Honda. What about now?
Get ready to taste life for the first time, people. Watch out now. You want to taste life? Then take a big swig of this new Pepsi One. This one's got it all. The most awesome cola taste that's bigger than the Wild Blue Yonder. But only 1 calorie. You want to taste one? Yeah. You want one? Yeah. You want one? Yeah. Get it.
You got one for me?
Put your tray table up and prepare for takeoff, my man.
All the taste, 1 calorie. Only one has it all.
To be sure you're getting the juice, the whole juice, and nothing but the juice, look for the Florida Sunshine Tree. Orange juice with the Florida Sunshine Tree means it's 100% pure and processed to the highest quality standards.
We expected a good one, and that's exactly what we've gotten. It looked like it was all Michigan in the first half. They led 24-10 at the half, but now 2 touchdowns by Chris Chikuma off of turnovers, and the Razorbacks all even at 24. Short kick taken at the 19-yard line. Kevin Bryant going to bring it back. Right ahead of Clarence Williams, and he brings it out. Good field position again, out to the 33 from Michigan. Let's go down again to Dean Blevins.
Guys, 2 great offensive linemen. We mentioned Jansen earlier for Michigan. Burlsworth, you guys just talked about. The Clark Kent, the Superman look there, 77. The previous touchdown, when they came off the field, the offensive coaches were saying, hey, big stud, we're coming after you, play after play after play. And that's what they did to me. 1, 2, 3 into the end zone. This guy is dominating offensively.
Dean, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what college football is all about.
And now you know what Drew Carey does on the weekend. Clarence Williams spins out to the 37. That's not Clark Kent. He looks exactly like Drew Carey.
But Terry, how many times with this new 85 scholarship rule, and you only replenish the seniors you lose every year with scholarships, how many times have we seen walk-ons come into a system and become All-Americans? I mean, we saw it last night with Virginia.
It never usually happens.
We saw it here today. There's Bullsworth. I mean, it just happens more and more in college football.
The walk-ons and the coaches get them there and plan to give them a scholarship, promise a scholarship, and it happens much more often. And he's one of the great stories that you're going to find in college football.
I mean, how do you not recruit that guy? He said coming out of high school, he was 310 pounds. Hey, put him in the weight room, and he's an All-American.
Said he had to lose weight first in order to gain weight.
See, you know what? You got that all-academic, all-American guy. You got him now with an MBA. So we're going to talk about the math. We'll talk about an athlete. We'll call him a mathlete.
I like it. So they'll measure for the first down. That's how far Michigan has to go to get it. We argue about Clark Kent and Drew Carey. We asked Brendan Burlsworth who he thought he looked like.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
We forgot about Kurt Rambis.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. You know, he's the first team All-American at Arkansas since John Baker. And, you know, we talked about John Jensen and his 50 straight starts. Well, at Arkansas, they haven't been going to bowls. He's got 33 straight starts.
Big play for the Wolverines coming up here, trying to get some momentum back. 3rd and 1 at the 42. Straight ahead goes Brady. Should have the first down. If the first down marker is right on the other side of the field. Got a push from his center, David Brandt, a sophomore out of Jenison, Michigan.
No relation.
He has a D. You don't in the name.
Obviously, turnovers the story of this half, and there's Keith Burns again calling for turnovers. That was what he wanted to set as a goal for the second half, and you had Painter stripping the ball, Barrett getting it back. Then you had the interception after Caver hit the arm of Brady.
Play action for Brady, looking for Marcus Knight long. Double covered. Knight can't come down with it. And good help from the safety who came over at the last moment too. David Barrett, Jeremy Flowers were there.
One of those situations where, again, it's a dangerous defense because you only have one guy back, that's Kennedy, but then you got the corners underneath. Now watch, 3 white jerseys end up around him, but this ball still was almost caught and probably should have been caught.
If you count that one, that's 3 passes that Marcus Knight has dropped, and the other 2 are even more glaring, and one should have gone for a touchdown.
Well, he was behind the 2 corners, and Kennedy came over late.
Numbers on Brady, the 1 interception, a key so far. Arkansas wanted to come, and they got there a little too quickly.
Ryan Hale jumped, trying to anticipate the count, and those fast twitch muscle fibers flinching.
Which you and I have very few of.
Offside defense, with contact prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Well, don't forget tomorrow live beginning at noon Eastern on ABC Sports. Coverage of the NFL Wild Card doubleheader. The Bills and the Dolphins. Dan Marino, Doug Flutie going at it in that one. Then at 4 Eastern, the Arizona Cardinals take on Troy Aikman and the Dallas Cowboys. Doubleheader. The NFL tomorrow right here on ABC Sports. Anthony Thomas can't find any room in the backfield.
Flowers again with a big play. Terry, he's having a phenomenal game on defense. Flowers is just anticipating things. He's coming with blitzes. When they put him in containment, he's being very aggressive on the outside corner, forcing things back in. This time that play for Michigan had no shot because Flowers penetrated, got back into the backfield, and made the tackle.
Now, the coaches from Arkansas told us when they came in at the beginning of the year, a little earlier than that, to take over this year, they thought the talent was there. And the last thing they wanted to talk about was rebuilding. Keith Burns said, you know, Houston Nutt's not going to lead us in a rebuilding year. The players don't want to hear that. And they switched some guys around defensively, and it's worked. Brady throws, almost picked off. David Barrett one-on-one with David Terrell, who wanted the interference call.
Well, let's make the call. Let's see if there is interference. Barrett's 18. Here's Terrell, number 1. Oh. He's the one who pushes off first, but then Barrett grabs his jersey. So sure, there were some illegalities there, and Barrett probably should have been flagged for grabbing his shoulder and grabbing his jersey.
But it brings up 4th and 9, and the punt off to Rossi Moriali. From his own 15, reversing field, finds a seam initially, and then brought down rather violently at the 24. A 41-yard punt, an 8-yard return. And the Razorbacks take over on a glorious day in Orlando. First day of 1999. Happy New Year once again, everybody. Back in a moment.
Somewhere there's an empty chair at a seminar. the Civic sedan from Honda. What about now?
How did we get this guy to take back all those nasty things he said about electric razors? By getting in his face for 21 days. The Norelco Reflex Action for an unexpectedly close shave. Guaranteed. Norelco, put it to the test.
Good morning.
Ow. Who said that?
Hey, hey, right up here, next to this poor neglected jug of orange juice.
You're a leftover ham sandwich.
That's correct, and don't you realize that the American Cancer Society says foods like Florida orange juice may help in the fight against cancer?
The American Cancer Society says that? How do you know all this?
What else am I going to do? I sit up here and I read the labels. You know, the light goes on, the light goes off. That's pretty much my day.
100% pure Florida orange juice. Are you drinking enough?
Now there's important news about relieving the aches and fever from the flu. In new guidelines, what pain reliever do flu experts prefer the most? The one you've trusted all along. The medicine in extra strength Tylenol. Tylenol, the first choice for flu relief.
Thursdays never had a guy this tough. Getting all misty. Or this cool.
I'm having a psychic moment.
All new Vengeance Unlimited, ABC Thursday at 8/7 Central.
A tale of two halves so far here in the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. All Michigan in the first half, all Arkansas so far in the second. 3:25 left in the third quarter, and the Razorbacks take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Ian Gold on the blitz, can't get to Sterner, and almost intercepted a dangerous pass that Tommy Hendricks almost had.
Terry, that's one of those situations where Clint Sterner, being the athlete that he is trying to make something happen when it's not there. That's a ball he should have just thrown out of bounds and thrown away. That was a dangerous pass, as you said, was almost picked off because he was trying to throw it back against his body and across coverage.
Unusual day for the Michigan defense. You saw the graphic a moment ago, giving up less than 7 points in the second half on average all year. First half has really been the trouble for them, but not today. 2nd and 10, Sterner with time. Throwing to no one but the Michigan sideline. Anthony Lucas had cut upfield. Sterner threw it to the outside. It's an injury report from Dean Blevins now on the sideline. Dean?
Guys, it's been a pretty good day for injuries. Sam Sword just rolled a knee. He was out a play or two, but he's back in the lineup. For Arkansas, Michael Williams, the outstanding wide receiver who's having a good day, number 84, has cramps in both calves. Now, once you get those, it's hard to lose them. So we'll monitor that. Melvin Bradley came back in the second quarter, number 41, the defensive tackle for Arkansas. Other than that, everybody's healthy.
Key play here, Dean, on 3rd and 10. Sterner out of the gun. Throwing up top, no one home again. Again, some confusion with his wide receivers. Emmanuel Smith, Michael Williams were out there. They were in the same area, but neither one broke long.
I'll tell you something else for Dean to look at right now. Drew Henson is warming up on the sideline, so he got some playing time in the first half. Michigan has been unable to move the ball. They had the 2 turnovers in this half. We'll keep an eye and see if, in fact, he comes into the ball game.
One series early on for Drew Henson in which they tried to throw back to him from Yallow Johnson at the wideout spot.
The young freshman phenom. We'll see if he comes back into the ball game.
There's Johnson at his own 42. Aiken just does get it off, and this is not a good one at all. It's going to roll dead at the 45-yard line of Arkansas. A 21-yard punt.
There have been several stories of this ball game, and I know we've been talking about them. Obviously, the turnovers and penalties for Michigan, but the kicking game and special teams for Arkansas have hurt them. The field position has been a huge factor in this game and has been an advantage for Michigan.
They've had better starting position all day than Arkansas, and right now, even more so than usual. They're inside of Arkansas territory at the 46.
I'll tell you this, Michigan is awfully hard to stop when they start at 45. I mean, when they shorten the field, it's a tough team to stop.
Michigan's 3 losses coming with special teams miscues. Clarence Williams pounded to the turf. Melvin Bradley finished him off. He was hit in the backfield very hard, didn't go down.
Ryan Hale again making penetration off that defensive line was the guy that hit him first. Got things in and just jammed it up. He's 300 pounds himself.
Now, with all the talk of the secondary and the linebackers, how quick, this is a solid group up front that is very quick for Arkansas, too. loss of 1 on first down. So it's second and a long 10, maybe 11. Not much better than that on second down. Quentin Caber wrapping up Clarence Williams back at the original line of scrimmage.
Boy, there again, Hale and Bradley just jammed things up. They won the battle of the line of scrimmage for Arkansas, and that stopped the play dead.
Williams out. The fullback Aaron Shea now the only one back there with Tom Brady. On third and a long 9. Razorbacks showing blitz. Here they come. Brady almost dropped it. Scrambles and has room. Oh, Tom Brady fighting his way for a first down.
What a great effort that was. First, to avoid the blitz. Secondly, to even get in any kind of open space. And then third, to fight through the tackle and make the first.
That may sum up what Tom Brady was about.
He was dead in his tracks with the blitz. Look at this. All right, he loses the ball for a second. Now he's looking for somewhere to run. There's nowhere to the right, so he goes back left. Now watch, he'll get hit short of the first, but continues to drive and spin forward and pick up the first down. Great effort by Tom Brady, the senior.
He got hit by Kenoy Kennedy, who is as hard a hitter as there is in the SEC. Another strong effort that time out of the backfield. That's Clarence Williams. Actually, Anthony Thomas in for Clarence Williams. So Michigan trying to ground it out against Keith Burns' defense right now.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the most exciting series that we've seen yet. With the score tied at 24 and Michigan starting at the 45-yard line on a short field. Arkansas defensively won a few battles. Then Tom Brady made something happen offensively. This is fun to watch.
A lot of time for Brady. He's going to go long to his fullback. Shea makes the catch, but he's out of bounds, so it's incomplete. And it's a man they like to throw to. Aaron Shea, the former tight end. And he moved him back to fullback for this season. He had 14 catches on the year, including a touchdown catch.
Asked the coaches about Shea, and they said, you know, the guy's just a big, strong, hard-working guy. And as you said, he was a tight end. We moved him to fullback because he's a good blocker, and we try to isolate him every once in a while and get him out on a linebacker like that. We try to get the ball to him, but it's a big third down play here for Brady.
3rd and 6, and they're going to bring Terrell in motion this side. Under pressure, Brady through the hands of David Terrell. The freshman out of Richmond, Virginia, would have had a first down if he could have held on to that ball.
I think Ty Streets right now is frustrated because he was open. Terrell is the underneath receiver, and Streets is behind him wide open. Look at him. He's shaking his head. That's frustration. See, Terrell is covered. Looks like 18 Barrett's all over him, although he still should have made the catch. But back to the left with Streets wide open, and no one was within 10 yards of him.
6 straight incomplete pass thrown by Tom Brady. This is a 48-yard attempt by Feely. Hooking it, no good. Had the distance.
So even though that drive started in Arkansas territory at the 45, the field was short, the defense for the Hogs made the stop. No points.
So it's been the Arkansas defense that's come up with the 2 big plays with the turnovers and now a big stop. Taking control of the game in the second half. Sea of red. There have been hog hats and Sioux calls and maybe part of Orlando this week. The Razorbacks taking over 1st and 10. Andre Hill hit hard and then finished off by Ian Gomes. In the final seconds of the 3rd quarter, ticking off the clock. And Arkansas back in this one. They tied it up on the strength of their opportunistic defense. The 2 turnovers, which led to 2 touchdowns on the ground for Chris Chukuma. We head to the 4th quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Some people like theirs strong.
Boy, there sure are a lot of fans out here today, PC.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of how many computer products are at CompUSA.
Oh, boy.
You see, Bob, CompUSA gives you access to more than 50,000 name-brand computer products.
All at guaranteed low prices, right?
That's right. CompUSA also scores big with super technical services like upgrades, repairs, delivery, and installation, even 24-hour phone-in support.
Well, that's all terrific, PC. Is there anything about this game that doesn't remind you of CompUSA?
Well, parking's a lot easier at CompUSA.
That's true, and they don't sell $8 nachos.
No.
2020. What else would you call a show with the most insightful journalists on television? Winner of over 300 awards for excellence in broadcast journalism. 2020 on ABC.
You have to drive it, and the car will speak for itself.
Take a test drive and experience it yourself.
Introducing the restyled 1999 Hyundai Elantra. Now it comes with America's best warranty, the Hyundai Advantage. And for the first time, it includes standard air conditioning at just $11,184. So now there's a whole new reason why you've got to drive one to believe. It's a whole new Hyundai. Get the restyled Elantra with America's best warranty for just $11,184.
Okay, I'll be back on Tuesday. The numbers are on the fridge. I color-coded all your meals so you won't be confused. The blue one is a beef dish. B is for beef. The pink one's a pork dish. P is for pork. You get the idea. The green one is for vegetables. It should be violet for vegetables. But I thought you might see violet but think purple and interpret pork, which would defeat the whole purpose of convenient color coding altogether. 4 minutes on high, stir halfway. Bye, guys.
So what do you guys want for dinner, blue or pink?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I hope Mom color-coded breakfast, too.
Your main station with Dennis Spellman and Janine Lauber, weeknights on Channel 8 News.
Watching ABC Sports coverage of the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. We head to the fourth quarter, all tied up 24 all, Arkansas and Michigan. They're at the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. Terry Gannon, Tim Brandt, Dean Blevins. This has been a dandy. Arkansas, with a second-half charge, has taken control, and they've got 2nd and 8 now at their own 33. Clint Sterner over the middle. He's got his favorite target, Anthony Lucas, who comes down with his 3rd catch of the afternoon in traffic.
Lucas, like Streets, is a big receiver at 6'3", NFL-type guy with 4.39 speed. Well, I tell you what, he's stronger than he looks, too. Watch him go up for this. He is well covered. You look in the secondary, the ball is high. He goes up and pulls it down like a guy pulling down a rebound in double coverage between Whitley and Marcus Ray.
Single season record, over 1,000 yards for Anthony Lucas, the most ever by a Razorback wideout. First down at the 48-yard line now. Michigan may have jumped flags on the play. Chikuma over the left side. And inside of Wolverine territory to the 48.
Looked like James Hall, number 56. Encroached, got into the neutral zone. And it is against Michigan. That is 11 penalties against the Wolverines.
Oh. Well, they talked about that, too. That's exactly what they wanted to guard against, and they worked on it.
That's going to drive that guy right there crazy. Defensive coordinator Jim Herman, he was the...
Offsides, defense, line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Remains first down.
Herman was a Broyles Award winner as the assistant coach of the year in 1997.
Well, a lot more football left to be played here in Orlando, but great day ahead, too. The Bowl Championship Series continuing here on ABC. Talk more about that throughout the broadcast. 2 more coming your way today. Michael Williams in motion. The pitch to Madre Hill coming your way. And run out of bounds after maybe a gain of 1 by Dahani Jones. Dean Blevins, a big week for Madre Hill, huh?
Right, what an impressive guy. The affable Madre Hill. It's a dynamic start to 1999 for him. Today, of course, the Citrus Bowl is playing well. January the 2nd, he turns 23 years of age. The 4th, he's going to announce if he returns to Arkansas. Bet the ranch that he's back, guys. He's happy. And January 9, he's getting married to his longtime sweetheart, Jennifer Easton, who says, by the way, guys, he told us today, they're going to move the wedding to a bigger church so more people can attend.
How about holding it here at the Citrus Bowl?
Just an average week for Madre Hill. There he goes, leaping over 1 and spinning to the 45-yard line. Ian Gold hit him hard, though. He's been active, had the interception, ran it back 46 yards for a touchdown earlier in the game.
Brings up another passing situation, though. They have not been able to really go downfield. We saw the completion to Lucas, but he was double covered there, which goes back to the philosophy we talked about at the beginning of the game. Sterner says when everybody's covered, you notice he's going in the direction of Lucas, because if he puts it up, he'll come down with it.
Maybe a good time for that. Lucas locked up one-on-one with James Whitley to the near side. This is a 4-receiver set. Sterner goes the opposite way through the hands of the intended receiver. Threw it a little bit low. Michael Snowden was the guy out there. The junior whose name we just called for the first time, but bothered by a knee injury. That's a low pass, and it brings up 4th down.
Chris Aiken, the punter for Arkansas, has not been able to get any kind of distance out of his punts today. That'll be good in this situation.
Yellow Johnson with the fair catch up at the 13, maybe the 14-yard line. 31-yard punt, and Aiken wanted to get it a little further inside the 10 perhaps that time. Couldn't do it. Happy New Year once again. Back in a moment. We are all tied up.
It's a film where a girl appears to be murdered.
She had no name.
I need information. I thought you might be able to help.
Until he uncovered the truth.
The film is real.
Now,
I'm trying to understand.
how far will he go?
You dance with the devil don't change. The devil changes you.
In the name of justice.
No one left to finish this but me.
Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage. No! 8mm, rated R.
Opens everywhere February 5th.
For Dodge Intrepid, we looked beyond a great look and took cab-forward architecture to a new place. With a spacious cabin, a very useful pass-through, and a cavernous trunk, Intrepid is an automobile for today, wrapped in a shape for the next millennium. Intrepid is one of Car and Driver's 10 best. Again.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. Fusion, the proud, the Marines.
It's Happy New Year.
We'll bring out the piñata.
Piano sounds nice, but I sit in front of one all day long.
With all new episodes of Drew Carey. See you Wednesday on ABC.
Our name and fruit. Lemons and oranges. Grapefruits, perhaps.
Well, if it's
those are big lemons, I think.
Well, if it's grapefruits, you're talking Flame and Marsh and Ruby Reds. Oranges, Hamlins and Valencias.
You got them all covered. Tom Brady. Zach Painter with the interception. Another big play by the Arkansas defense. Painter inside the 15 to the 11. The game has turned on Michigan turnovers, and it's done so once again.
The game has turned on Arkansas's defense. At halftime, you're right, Terry. He said, we've got to force some turnovers. Arkansas comes out. They get 3 this half. And you're right, Michigan has really helped them out. You look at this play. This is not a well-thrown ball because he's got coverage underneath by 37 Painter. You got the safety over top, Kenoy Kennedy. Painter had the easy pick, gets some blocking, takes it down to the 11-yard line.
1st and 10, just outside the 10. So Arkansas again able to get a first down and not a touchdown. Norman leading Chakuma. Not much going on at all. Josh Williams along with Ian Gold on the stop.
What a difference Keith Burns has made here at Arkansas. You look at what they did last year. They were 40th in rushing, ranked 64th in scoring, and 47th in total defense. And then you look down here what they did this year. And folks, that is a huge turnaround. Keith Burns has brought a speed, attack defense.
Keep coming now. You got to defeat the blocks one-on-one up front. Now pass rush. Keep coming. Turn it over. We're going to get points. We'll knock them out. Play for the knockout.
Turn them over. We'll get points. Play for the knockout. They're doing it.
Tight end Davenport in motion. That's who they want to throw to, and he's got a touchdown. Joe Dean Davenport came in motion, and he was wide open. 8 yards and 6 on the board.
I'm telling you something. Arkansas has gone code red. They say you live by the code, you play by the code, and in the second half, they've been believing in making it happen.
Todd Lederer, the senior out of Pensacola, on for the extra point. It's good again. And Arkansas, which trailed in this game 24-10 at the half, they're now up by a touchdown.
Everybody looking for Lucas and Williams, so you go to your tight end. There's Davenport all alone for the touchdown.
You have to dig deep to find the source of Intrepid's solid feel. Reinforced door openings, strategically placed steel beams, and an isolated suspension cradle all contribute to Intrepid's supple ride. Take away that sturdy foundation and you have, well, nothing. Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again. Intrepid is one of Car and Driver's 10 best. Again.
We're finally winning. Today, more people are quitting smoking than ever. And a lot of them are doing it with Nicoderm CQ. CQ's got the 3 steps. The gradual step-down method doctors prefer to help get you free. So how many have quit with Nicoderm CQ? Why, we'd have to build the biggest stadium in America just to hold them all. Remember now, New Year's Day, quit with Nicoderm CQ. We're saving a seat for you.
Should have everyone's attention. Jimmy, this is for you.
What's this?
We've all kept 10.
We're sending you to America, Jimmy. Take care of yourself.
Are you sure you have enough money, Jimmy?
I don't need any.
On January 2nd, the hot and crispy fries at Burger King are absolutely free. People from all over the world will be there.
Well, we'll see that laddie again.
Of course we will. Seaside Gills will do it for laddie.
The Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. Burger King, where you can have the delicious king of fries. Burger King, when you have it your way, it just tastes better. And the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable sport utility ever. Razorbacks on top. They've taken a 31-24 lead. On the pass to Joe Dean Davenport. There's Clarence Williams back deep, awaiting the kick. As the Wolverines now will try to get their offense going. It's been the turnovers that have cost them in the second half. Not going to bring this one back. They'll come out to the 20.
Well, the defense set up the touchdown, but then the offense was an outstanding play. They've been using their tight end, Joe Dean Davenport. Watch him now. Here he is, and they'll drag him across here like he's been blocking the whole game. Now the attention goes to the wide receivers. Go ahead and roll it. There he goes. So it looks like he's going to be blocking for the up back again on a running play. They slide him out into the flat. He's already beaten the linebacker. He's out there in space, free, all alone for the touchdown.
Linebackers never reacted to Davenport coming in motion and going outside.
Keep in mind, though, don't lose focus of the fact this was the national championship team last year. The Big Blue is about to turn it on because you know they're not going to go down and quit.
First down, Anthony Thomas over the left side. Pulls his way ahead across the 25 to the 26. Steve Frazier, the pulling guard, led the way that time to create the hole. Harry Wilson, the outside linebacker, made the stop.
46 of 52 Michigan scores this year have come very, very quick. Quick strikes, 4 minutes or less. You see, they followed behind here, giving them 21 in the second half. But I'm telling you something. You know, they weren't national champs for nothing. This is a gutty group.
Not only that, they turned it around after being 0-2 when everybody criticized them and doubted them. And had a great run in the second half of the year. Thomas with a first down up to the 32-yard line. They'll move the chains. Much more to come today, and of course the national championship game. Monday at 8 Eastern, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Tennessee taking on Florida State. T. Martin against what may be the best defense in the country. That's what everybody's looking toward, that matchup there. And it will decide number one. And, of course, the first ever enhanced TV programming, ESPN.com. You can be a part of it. Thomas bounces outside, got away from one, and then run down by Randy Garner, the sophomore out of Atlanta, Texas, with another good game for the Wolverines.
Got the running game going. We talked about they got that game going for the Hawaii game. Stop it right there. Look, everything here is bottled up. Over here, it's open. So watch this cut that he makes. He comes back outside and bounces it to make good yardage off of this play. Everybody had to rearrange, had to regroup, and had to take it back the other way to make the stop.
The defense for Arkansas forcing the action. Now, Tom Brady 0 for his last 7 with 2 interceptions. And I'm sure that's why you're seeing Thomas and Williams getting the running game going. Clarence Williams inside the 45 of Arkansas, but there is a flag back at the 40 of Michigan.
It's going to be the 12th penalty against Michigan for holding.
There you go.
They're killing themselves. And you can tell that it's frustrating. Look at him. I mean, that was a good run. He almost broke it for a touchdown. He still got the first down. Now they have to call it back because there was holding.
During the run, holding, offense, 10 yards, assess, from the spot of the foul, 2nd down.
See, now Lloyd Carr says, no, I'm sorry, you're making the calls. There was no holding. But I want you to watch the left tackle, and that's going to be Jeff Backus. And watch what happens here. He's over here. Okay, now watch what happens on this play. Just watch the lineman. And it's almost like he makes a tackle. There go his hands. His hands are out. He reaches, he grabs, and he takes him down.
Lloyd didn't have the same look that you did. Brady setting up this screen through the hands of Clarence Williams.
I've got to be honest, though. After watching the replay again, I mean, that was close. That just looked like he was wide with the hands, but it looked like a great block. And he pancaked the guy.
And it looked like his momentum carried him that way. And it had just been the weight and the strength.
So maybe Lloyd is right. Maybe he is bringing the flag out too quickly.
Toughest call in football, that one?
Yeah, certainly the most frequent call. We're talking about code red. Here it is. Keith Burns say you got a preparation, you got to play hard, you got to play at maximum speed from the whistle to the end of the whistle, and you got to finish.
3rd and 12 now for the Wolverines. There goes Terrell in motion. Shea, the fullback, in the backfield. And here come the Razorbacks. McClain missed it. Brady over the middle completes the pass to Ty Straits. What a job by Brady to get away from the rush and then go to his favorite target. His 6th catch of the afternoon.
C.J. McClain got away from code red. He did everything right. He got in. He was ready to make the sack, but he didn't finish. He did not break down. He did not wrap his arms. Then, look at the big play on the other side. Not only by Brady avoiding the sack and throwing the ball, but then Streets went down and got it.
123 yards on the afternoon for Streets. First and 10. Williams wrapped up. Tried to get outside, but Melvin Bradley got him by the ankles. The senior out of Barton, Arkansas. Now next, here on ABC Sports, the Bowl Championship Series starts. The Rose Bowl presented by AT&T out in Pasadena. Number 5, UCLA, Cade McNown against number 9, Wisconsin. And then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Dat win, Texas A&M taking on Ohio State. That should be a great one, too. Many think that Ohio State, perhaps the best team in the country. The best talent. Swing pass to Williams out of the backfield. And a good gain of about 8 to the 46-yard line. Harry Wilson getting on the stop. Wilson's a great story, by the way. Senior out of Montana, and a 27-year-old senior, former rodeo star, never finished high school on time with his class and was wayward for a while. Went on a Mormon mission and now back playing at Arkansas. And the other day, they were handing out gifts here at the Citrus Bowl. They handed him one of the coaches' gifts. They thought he was one of the coaches.
27 years old. He said as soon as he graduates, as soon as he finishes playing football, he's going back to the rodeo. Loves the rodeo. Roving Been doing some of that today.
3rd and 3, and they want to talk it over. So Tom Brady will have a word with Lloyd Carr, and a key 3rd down play comes up when we return.
Where will you be when the millennium turns? At the foot of the pyramids? Or racing at twice the speed of sound? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level, giving you new power to realize your dreams. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
Vacation travelers know that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National Car Rental. Especially if you're going to Disneyland's new Tomorrowland. Because as the official car rental company of the Magic Kingdom, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. For a family vacation you'll never forget. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to Disneyland's new Tomorrowland with National Car Rental.
Florida's fabled climate is uniquely suited to produce the world's best citrus oranges and grapefruit. The easiest way to be sure that your juice meets or exceeds all federal standards for safety and quality is to look for the Florida Sunshine Tree.
After we're finished here in Orlando, we take you out to the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T from Pasadena, including the Ford Division pregame report. John Saunders, Todd Blackledge bring you scores and highlights from all the bowl action around the country. All of that next, right here on ABC.
Keith Jackson out there. Keith's a little bit under the weather. Got some bronchitis that's been bothering him.
I know you want to send your best out to him as he winds his career down at ABC with Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on Monday night.
One of my favorite people in the world.
Anthony Thomas on 3rd down. He didn't get the 1st down.
Keith is college football.
Brought down by McDougal.
Brings up 4th down. You've got to believe here that they're going to go for it in this situation. Still 7:53 to go. If they don't, then they want a little pooch punt down inside the 10 and try to back them up. Play for position, but you got to believe they're going for it.
7:44 and counting. So Lloyd Carr, it is 4th and 2, and it's a long 2.
And it's keeping the offense in. There's no question they're going for it. There's Keith Burns with his short yardage defense call.
Maybe the biggest play of the game so far. Brady throws to Streets. He makes the catch amid the flags that come down in double coverage. What a catch by Streets. Surrounded by 3 white jerseys for the 1st down.
You know, if you looked at the Michigan highlight tape and it had 40 plays, 30 of the best would be on Ty Streets. Look at him go up, use his body to keep the defender away from the football, and brings it in. Great concentration with a defensive back Barrett on his back. He still made the catch and picked up the 1st. We told you he's the go-to guy. He's the difference maker in a 4th down and the play they have to win this ball game. They go to Streets.
Got the 1st down, so the flag, they don't need it anyway, but they actually waved off the penalty. There wasn't one. There goes Anthony Thomas, the A-train over the right side. And he goes his way inside the 30. And he may have another Michigan 1st down. He does, as they call it a gain of 11. How many times in a game the momentum switches back and forth?
Well, we sure have seen it in this game. And this could be one of the best bowl seasons we've seen. I mean, we're watching the Purdue-Kansas State game the other night. We're watching Virginia game last. I mean, great games this year.
Sasha Lancaster, the defensive end, on the sideline with a face full of mud. Thomas sidesteps 1, has room inside the 5. Run down by Randy Garner, but he's all the way to the 3-yard line. 24 yards. for Anthony Thomas, and Michigan has done this with their ground game.
Don't ever question the character of this Wolverine club. They started the season 0-2. They fall behind here in the fourth quarter. You knew they had the character to come back in this ball game. He breaks the big play here, and all of a sudden you're down inside the 5 with 6:40 left to play. You got to believe, hey, here comes Michigan again. They'll bang this thing in and tie the score.
Two tight ends. Thomas the lone setback. Johnson in motion. Looking for room. Cuts back, tripped up, doesn't get there. To the 1. Nice play by Harold Harris to turn him back inside.
Down to the 1 now to bring up second down, and you got to believe now all the rules change here. As far as Michigan and Arkansas are concerned in short yardage goal line defense, the rules now are straight ahead, no fair dodge. The toughest guy's going to win at the goal line.
Second and goal from the 1. Aaron Shea, the fullback, now in ahead of Anthony Thomas. Thomas fighting his way. Touchdown, Michigan. Thomas gets there, and now you've got 5:49 left on the clock. Still too early for the two-point try?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely too early. But again, right here, they went up behind Brandt, Frazier, Jansen. They're big guys up front. You knew where they were coming straight at you, tackle to tackle. We told you straight ahead, no fair dodging it. Anthony Thomas, the A-train, he just ran this thing right up in there. Now watch the power at the goal line to carry guys in with him.
Third touchdown for Anthony Thomas.
Feely attempting the extra point.
Feely on for the extra point. Up and good. So we're all tied once again. A little earlier, when Arkansas got there, it looked like the players wanted to go for 2. No sign of that from the Michigan players, and no decision really to be made from Lloyd Carr. They tie it up, and plenty of time left. There's the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. Thomas to the end zone.
It's about vision. It's about that part of imagination which lives outside the lines. It's about focus and the engineering freedom to change everything that was or question everything that is. It's insight and the flow of original thinking that can revitalize an industry or rewrite its rules. It's foresight and the discerning intelligence to negotiate surprise and navigate new ground. It's thousands of people visualizing change and one company's way of looking at tomorrow.
With every advance in technology, barriers crumble between what is real and what is unreal. Introducing Falcon 4.0, the most realistic combat flight simulator ever built. You can fly 30 training missions designed by F-16 pilots, multiplayer dogfighting action in the skies of cyberspace, and an instant action mode with unlimited fuel, ammo, and enemies. Falcon 4.0 on PC CD-ROM, the definition of realism.
Right now, you're watching the best in college football. See the best in music. Live. The American Music Awards. ABC Monday, January 11th.
Live. A good old-fashioned Michigan drive. And they are tied 31-all with the Arkansas Razorbacks.
When that drive started, we talked about their character and being national championship. You saw what Thomas did on that drive. The Michigan team was phenomenal. 14 plays, 80 yards, and ate up 6.5 minutes of the clock. Thomas, of course, as you saw, 8 for 57 yards.
Manuel Smith at his own goal line. Outside to the 18. Good coverage that time by Michigan. Diallo Johnson down quickly. And so it's the offense for Arkansas now, which starts at his own 18. 5:41 left in the game. Lynch Turner bringing the offense on. Remember, as Dean Blevins told you earlier, they've got the wind here in the last quarter, and it has picked up.
And it's been a struggle offensively for Arkansas this afternoon. But now's the time. You got 5.5 minutes to play in a 31-31 ball game. Now you want to break all tendencies. Now you want to go and open up the whole playbook.
Play action on first down under pressure is Sterner. Throws on the run and through the hands of Williams to Honey Jones. Actually had a chance to pick it off for a moment.
Honey Jones, Churchill High School. Great linebacker. I mean, he almost had the pick, and had he gotten it, that would have been a touchdown. Watch how close this comes. First of all, Sterner does a great job avoiding Fizel. But now he throws the ball, and it's a little bit behind. Now watch, this ball bounces off, and there it is, right by Dahani, hit it between the fives. Almost an interception.
Don't forget the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T coming up next here on ABC Sports. Wisconsin and UCLA from the gun on second down. Again under pressure is Sterner. He goes down. James Hall in there along with Rod Reines. A loss of 13 and Clint Sterner shaken up.
Boy, Reines has been pretty quiet tonight, but I'll tell you this. He's the strongest guy on Michigan's defense, and he made Sterner pay the price. Got a good lick on him. Watch number 58 coming in. He's a wrestler. He's an all-academic guy. Whoosh. He goes to his knees. He trips him up. Then Hall comes from behind. He lands on top of him. And Sterner's feeling it, especially in his ankle that got rolled up on. They're coming again.
Going to run it this time. Chikuma with the 2 touchdowns in the second half out to the 12, but a long way to go for the first down. They had to go all the way to the 28. With a Wolverine defense with the stop.
But Arkansas has to punt for the 11, and Aiken has had 6 punts today, and he's only averaging 33 yards.
Out of his own end zone.
Johnson back to receive.
This one better than his average. Diallo Johnson a chance to return it though. To the 35, that's where Michigan will start.
Wow.
With 4:23 left. A 37-yard punt. Michigan with great field position.
Weren't those teams great today, Bob?
Yeah, imagine if you could put together your own fantasy football team.
That's just how you feel when you order a CompUSA PC.
Really?
Sure. You choose the exact options and features you want.
Like a dream team of megahertz and megabytes.
All made with quality components like the Intel Pentium 2 processor. Plus, made-to-order CompUSA PCs are built and backed by CompUSA.
Sounds like a CompUSA PC is even better than having your own football team.
Well, you have a lot less to worry about, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, like where to put the giant foam finger concession.
Right.
Insurance has not been something at the top of our minds. Now that we have kids, obviously it's a necessity.
Our Prudential agent has been able to point out things with our home insurance, combining it with our auto. And I own my own business, so he's been able to help me with estate planning and disability insurance and making sure our family is taken care of well into the future.
That's a great question. Dan's been proactive about things, advising us, and we totally trust him.
It's been really great to have Dan.
And Prudential.
The Flying Mile. Race fans gather at Daytona's Flying Mile.
Winning Daytona shows that the 300 is a spirited, full-blooded automobile with impeccable road manners.
Chrysler 300M, born like its ancestors with the most horsepower in its class.
No other car delivers this much motoring excitement.
She's a regular firecracker.
And now, Motor Trend 1999 Car of the Year.
The Bowl Championship Series is online with live action, interviews, game highlights, and live polls at ESPN.com and on America Online.
4:23 left in this one. We are all tied at 31. Michigan, though, with the advantage right now because they take over at the 35-yard line of Arkansas.
You got to believe, Terry, they're going to try to jam it right down Arkansas's throat and run it.
All right, it's Williams. Here he comes. That's what they did on the last drive. Pretty good game. Trying to get outside, but he's inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Don't forget the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T coming up next from Pasadena. Dean, what do you have?
Keith Burns pleading with his defense a moment ago to tackle better. Says, guys, we didn't react very well in that last series. We've got to do underneath coverage better. He's begging for another turnover. Quarterback David Barrett struggling with cramps. Quarterback Steiner will be back. Sterner will be back. And Chikuma has a hip corner. He will return.
All right, Dean. So a number of Razorbacks banged up. There goes Clarence Williams for the first down inside the 25. And just as they did on the last drive. Michigan keeping it on the ground and powering their way.
No question about it. I mean, right now they want to melt the clock and shorten the game. You've got 4:12 left. They've got 2 timeouts that won't even come into play here. They want to just keep the ball on the ground and play smash mouth football and just jam it right down Arkansas's throat and force them to make those tackles that Keith Burns talking about and try to force the strips.
It is interesting and maybe a little ironic for a Michigan team that has much more than they usually do all season long, criticized for a lack of running game. Today it's the running game that's doing it.
Especially in this half.
Williams to the 19. His defense for Arkansas looking like they're wearing down right now.
Well, you just don't want the national championship team from a year ago, co-Big Ten champions this year, to start an offensive series at the 35-yard line. I mean, you talk about shortening the field, it's almost impossible to make the stops.
Gain of 4 for Williams, so it's 2nd and 6.
I'd bring some heat here. I'd go ahead and try to shoot the gaps.
Here they come. Brady got it. The give to Williams, and he got chased down from behind. Quentin Caver, the sophomore out of Anniston, Alabama.
Tackle from behind by Quentin Caver.
Caver, the linebacker, came on the blitz. Good call that time defensively by Keith Burns.
It's a loss of 1 for Williams.
They start moving you back and manhandling you like Michigan's been doing. He's changed things up, and he brought the heat. He tried to outnumber him and shoot the gaps on the blitz.
Tom Brady wants to talk things over now. He's going to call a timeout and have a word with Lloyd Carr. So it's 3rd and 7 when we come back from Michigan.
Dan, EJ, 170 million. That's a record. Think it's going to change you?
Absolutely not. E.J. Tucker's never been about money. E.J. Tucker's never played for money, and money will not change E.J. Tucker not 1 iota.
Say, is that a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah, it's last one. Oh, yeah? Well, what do you say I give you $1 million for?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
What do you want for that watch?
Every year I say, I'm gonna quit smoking. Day later, I'm at it again. Till this year. See this? My last piece of Nicorette gum. Been smoke-free with Nicorette now for 12 weeks. With Nicorette, I help control my cravings 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help curb them, and then for unexpected cravings, I took another piece. And now, no more craving, no more nicotine. Happy New Year.
Only Nicorette helps you control your cravings, your habit, 2 ways. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Michigan down to 1 timeout now, as Tom Brady had to burn a timeout to avoid a delay of game penalty. 31 all, 2:30 left, and it's 3rd and 7 for the Wolverines. Don't forget the Bruins and the Badgers, the Rose Bowl, presented by AT&T next. Under pressure, over the middle, Johnson, touchdown! D'Alo Johnson, the junior out of Detroit. 21 yards, and Michigan is back on top. Jay Feely's extra point, and the Wolverines up by a touchdown.
Arkansas came up in the bare front and called jet, which is their blitz. And I mean, Brady made a great play on this. Put the ball right there for Dee Johnson, who made the catch in front of Kenoy Kennedy. But look at the blitz. White jerseys flying all around Brady. He throws it before he gets hit and throws a strike. That was a huge play by Brady and a great catch right in front of Kennedy.
Who is one of the best safeties in the SEC. Let's check in again with Dean Blevins down on the field. Dean?
Guys, the biggest celebration took place with Charles Woodson, the Heisman winner, Johnson, his best friend and former roommate. They high-fived as he came up. Quite a moment.
They didn't give the Heisman pose, though, did they?
No, a little late for that.
Dean, I'm telling you, this whole stadium's rocking.
Yeah, this has been a splendid game. Great comeback by Arkansas. And obviously, you called it. The key play was when Michigan goes for it on 4th down to tie streaks earlier. But this was not over.
Don't forget, 2:25 still to play. And all the timeouts remaining for Arkansas.
Yep, 3 timeouts.
So now Sterner, who's a little bit banged up, now has to be a curator of the clock. He's got to go ahead and use that efficiently, and he's got to make sure everybody in that offense is aware of the clock and using the sidelines and moving the chains.
Emmanuel Smith with great speed back there with Hubert Loudermilk. Arkansas has not done a whole lot on their returns today. Michigan doing a nice job of covering. 2:25 left to play. Smith, 5 yards deep. Loudermilk says, take a knee, we'll bring it out to the 20. And let's get an update from John Saunders in New York. John?
Terry, when you're done, it's the first ever Bowl Championship Series game. It'll be in the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. Ron Dayne, the big back for Wisconsin, and Cade McNown, he's going to lead the offense for UCLA. It's coming up next. Back to you, Terry.
All right, John. Keith Jackson says he's going with the infantry, the ground guys.
Got to hunker down with the big uglies in the trenches.
Ron Dayne against Cade McNown. Look at those passing yards, almost dead even.
Yeah, well, Sterner has to be effective now as they go into the 2-minute drill.
Dhani Jones on the blitz. He gets there. Along with Ian Gold. They guessed right. They timed it perfectly. So it backs them up. It is 2nd and 14 now.
Came with the blitz. You got to believe that they're going to be aggressive. Jones is coming again.
Sterner gets it away this time. Through the hands of the receiver and intercepted. Whitley with the pick. He's taking it to the house. James Whitley goes all the way back.
And this game is over.
The first smile of the afternoon for Lloyd Carr. Whitley, 26 yards.
And that ball should have been caught.
Yes, it should have.
Sterner could not have thrown the ball any better. Houston Nutt had a good call. The ball was delivered on schedule. It wasn't caught. It was bobbled, and it was picked off by Whitley, who made a tremendous play and a fine run to the end zone.
Extra point is up and good. Up 24-10 at the half. Arkansas erased that lead, but a celebration time on the sideline for the Wolverines again.
Take another look at it, and we'll show you what we mean. The ball was delivered on time right at the break. Okay, there's Smith. Now watch. As soon as he gets out, here's the ball. The ball hit him right in the hands. There's Whitley, who has decent coverage, but couldn't have made the breakup. All he could do at that time was make a tackle. But when the ball bounced right to him, he picked it off, got some blockers, and took it in. Sterner did a great job delivering his ball where he had to, and it went right through the hands of Smith. Something that Smith, who's just a junior now, will live with that all year in the offseason as he prepares. And Houston Nutt says, are you kidding me? We had the first down, we were moving the chains, and still had plenty of time.
And Lloyd Carr believes, although he won't admit it, that it's over.
Like we said, it is over.
Now, it's been the defenses today. There's no question about it. They've created, if not the points, they've created turnovers that have led to the points.
Well, you make an excellent point. The fact that it's 41-31, people will look at this game and say, are you kidding me? What do you mean the defenses play well?
Exactly.
But they did create the points.
They had Gold with the interception and then ran back for a touchdown earlier in the game. And Whitley now does the same thing at a crucial time. There's now under 2 minutes left. And it was the Arkansas defense that changed this game around in the third quarter.
This is one of those deals, even if he kicks it into the end zone, you want to think about bringing it out, because right now Arkansas needs a huge play.
Ran right by it.
To even think about getting back in this thing.
Aiden Epstein ran right by it as the wind knocked it off the tee. So 1:47 left here. Then we take you out to Pasadena with the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. Round game of Wisconsin with Ron Dane against Cade McNown leading the Bruin offense.
Terry, I'm not even sure I would kick this deep. I think I'd just squib it to avoid any chance of a big return.
Line drive.
There's your squib, and you'll bring it out to the 20 with no return. Good call by Michigan.
Round ball all the way to the end zone. Well, there's one guy who's watching from the Michigan sideline. Deep Blevins has more on him.
Guy Scott Dreisbach. I can empathize with this guy. He's now the third-string quarterback, special team player. But this is a quarterback in his final game here who was a starter. Back in 95 for a few games, played some in 96 when Greasy beat him out. But he was a guy that expected to have a terrific career. Didn't turn out that way. I talked to him before the game. Extremely impressive, mature guy. He says, well, I could have either been bitter or positive, and I chose to work hard and be supportive. He says, I love sort of being a coach to Drew Henson and the younger guys. Guys, this guy is full of class, and Booker Dreisbach is a guy that Michigan should be very proud of.
You know, Dean, we've talked about this all day. This game is full of a lot of guys like that.
You're exactly right. It brings out, you know, we read too many stories and report too many stories of the negative things around college football. You're right, Tim. There are dozens of players out here that I met, both at the Peach Bowl yesterday and here, and of course down in Miami for the Orange Bowl. They're just splendid examples, not only of athletes, but student athletes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we talked about Bullsworth, talked about Reynes, we talked about Jensen. All those guys, those are academic guys.
And some guys who may not end up on the next level playing, as most of the guys you mentioned, especially Dreisbach. Their experience in college certainly helping them in whatever they do after that. And Dean's right, he is a class act. We spent time with him this week. That one incomplete from Sterner. Clint on that bad ankle.
A couple of things you can walk away from this ball game and say. If football is back at Arkansas with Houston Nutt, Keith Burns, and that entire staff, Bobby Allen, who did a terrific job. And for Michigan, a team that started 0-2 after a national championship team, and I mean was being barraged nationally by negative press. They pulled that thing together, showed that they were champions, came back, had a terrific year, came down here to the Citrus Bowl. Some said, well, maybe they're disappointed they're in the Citrus Bowl. They have come up big time here this afternoon.
3rd and 19. Sterner's trying to run for it. Got to get to the 30-yard line. Drill out of bounds. Dhani Jones and Marcus Ray double teamed him. 4 yards shy of a first down. Rose Bowl by AT&T coming up next. So don't go anywhere.
You know, the other thing we can take away from today is the fact that once again the Citrus Bowl folks prove that they have certainly one of the best games of the bowl season, and they handle it with class all the time.
You're right. That's the word. A classy event all week long. Take a moment to be selfish. Our entire crew, Mark Loomis, David Kiviat in the truck, Don Madry, our statistician, Mark Williams, our spotter, this entire crew, everyone that helps out. It's a classy group that we've worked with all year long. Thanks to them. Michael Williams with the catch. He has a first down as the clock stops for a moment at 1:19.
And you also mentioned that the BCS beginning this weekend, and of course that means 2 more games for our colleague Keith Jackson. He'll wind up his career at the Tostito Fiesta Bowl on Monday night. We wish Keith only the best.
You had the thrill of working with him. The rest of us just admired him, and he has influenced everybody who said in back of a microphone the last 25 years or so. He is college football.
He is college football, and you know, he never changes. I mean, we were on the phone last night. We were like 2 kids just talking football and talking about the various coaches and state of college football and the BCS and everything that's taking place this weekend. And it's just, it's always fun to talk with Keith because he is college football. He loves it.
10 yards assessed from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
High above the Citrus Bowl. How are you?
Happy New Year, everybody. It has been a lot of fun down here this week. I can guarantee you that.
Partner, it's been fun, too.
It has
been a great year of college football. And
Mark Williams and John Madry, who sit up in the booth with us every week, we thank them, too.
Loudermilk, the intended receiver, through his hands. He had a chance to catch that between defenders.
You know, you could feel the tide turn in the second half here. I mean, Arkansas came out and really started playing well. They got their 21 points, and all of a sudden, Tom Brady steps up, and you could just say, this is a team with character. They're starting to bow their back now. They won the championship last year. They want to walk away with a Citrus Bowl championship. They're co-Big Ten champions, and Brady came up big time. A terrific job here by Houston Nutt as well. Football is back.
Living a dream, growing up in Little Rock and being able to accomplish this. Having more fun than he's ever had, and our best go out to his brother Danny, and certainly the thoughts of Houston on his brother, but doing well in Little Rock. Smith, the intended receiver. Sterner overthrows him. Happy birthday to my wife Lisa, as a matter of fact, if I can be really selfish right now while we're getting all those out. New Year's Day. At home watching as Lloyd Carr had a smile a moment ago because we talked to him this week, and as you said, he was excited about being here because you got to remember what they went through at the beginning of the year being 0-2. This is Michigan, and it's not a normal 0-2. They came after a national championship and started the season that way. Couldn't hold on. Anthony Jordan, a redshirt freshman from Jersey City.
Hate to bring this up, but Michigan talks defensively. Snap bubble hits, that was one of them right there. I mean, that was a slobber knocker. Oh, my.
Hubert checking out where he is right now and wondering.
See him playing on Sunday afternoons.
Arkansas having to replace 4 of the 5 guys up front offensively, and they've started to do it already. They brought in a number of recruits.
And there goes the bucket over the head of Lloyd Carr again. It doesn't hurt as much when you're in Florida.
Mark Campbell, the tight end, with a hug for Lloyd Carr. As the Wolverines take over, and they run out the final 39 seconds. Point game, but this one was closer than that. Michigan had trailed 31-24 after being up 24-10 at the half.
Well, it was 31-31 with 4 minutes to play.
Yeah.
And then Michigan just turned it on.
Second straight 10-win season for Lloyd Carr. That's what the players talked about throughout the week, how important it was to win 10 games instead of lose 4 games.
And he certainly was making that point to his team all week in practice and all the meetings. He was saying, you can just tell by saying it, 10-3 sounds a whole lot better than 9-4, and he's right. I mean, that is 10 wins, and he continues to keep that streak going, and now they'll start to rebuild. Recruiting is going on. He's got a lot of guys coming back, and again, at Michigan, every year they focus in on that national championship.
For the final 10 seconds of this one off the clock, Arkansas with a great turnaround season this year after 4-7, 4-7. But they lose to Michigan in the CompUSA Florida Citrus Bowl. The Wolverines a winner, 45-31. That's your final. For Deep Levens and Tim Brand, I'm Terry Gannon. The Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. For the 4th Division pregame report comes up next. So long, everybody, from Orlando, Florida.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company.